Hey, not without a hitch, huh? Not without a hitch. You can't go. We can't let you guys relax out there. Right? You know, we got to keep everybody on their toes.
Do you guys think it's an accident or we're trolling? Like we just been
behind the scenes, Dan Sella, BTS as they call it, Dan, in the biz. BTS. You know, the longest time I thought whenever somebody like tagged BTS, I thought that was like one of those what's that K-pop bands?
K-pop.
No, there's like a K-pop band called BTS, I think, or something like that. Anyway, I always just thought that's what it was.
I thought it was a buy-sell trade.
BST, but some idiot just spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Like how you thought it was VPM.
Speaking of VPNs,
that guy must be sour because he got cooked by the Spicka page. It's the same person.
Speaking of VPNs, we were gonna have Mickey and Mark on the show a little bit later, just for like a quick little. They're gonna come in, give a little taste about the gambling, and tell you guys that if you didn't bet on paintball, you might. And this isn't me saying it. This isn't them saying it. It's just like some spitballing. You might be a loser. You might have lost. You might have missed out the opportunity. In that sense of the word, loser.
I think the people that use my link, I'm not generating anything from it because I think they won.
Because they all won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Europe and Asia. And thanks everybody for tuning in.
I think there was a Mexico City tournament this weekend too.
There we go.
A new league.
A new league.
Yeah.
Not MXL.
No.
Oh wow. Okay.
I believe MXL is this coming weekend.
It's coming soon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have the WCPPL.
3 weeks out?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's 2 weekends of practice and WC.
Yeah, the West Coast Purple Potato League is happening first weekend in April. First weekend in April, and then we got kind of practices back to back coming up here. You guys got any practices, TJ Bastards?
Yeah, we're doing 1 day this weekend and then a 2-day next weekend.
2-day next weekend. Yep, I got Omega up at SC Village on Saturday, and then the Narcos on Sunday, and then again, the same thing going on the following Saturday and Sunday with both teams. We've got D4, we've got D3, and we've got Premier. We're coming in swinging for every single fence in the league, and the Narcos are looking good, man. We practiced against Aftermath. We didn't win a lot of points, but we were in a ton. We threw away a lot of points. Nice. How about that? That's a good way of looking at it.
I saw Ethan from Aftermath at Ambush on Saturday, which that drive on the way back was pretty brutal. It was a 12-day venture.
Yeah.
Or 12-hour venture. And I was like, you have the weekend off? And he's like, I just have today off. He was out there coaching.
Yeah.
Back at it. But, I mean, the work's paying off for them.
Yeah, congrats, 4th place. And that's another thing I kind of explained to my guys. Like, it was a little like frustrating because we lost a lot of points. But I'm like, look, you're playing against the best Aftermath team that's been assembled in a decade.
Yeah.
You know, they took 4th place at the last event. They're playing extremely well. All the guys are gelling. So, you know, don't beat yourselves up too badly if we're up 5-on-3 and we lost.
Yeah.
We along 4-on-4 point we lost. You know. Yeah. So we were getting blown out, which is good.
Nima asked a good question.
Yeah, what's he got? That's actually a really good question.
It's a good topic.
Yeah. Let's we're gonna hold that. I'm gonna earmark that one right there, and we'll ask our next two. We have 2 guests that are gonna jump on here in about 5-10 minutes. Both of which I would say, I think I've already mentioned who they are, but both legends or iconic players in their own realm. But they're both. I was talking to Nicky Cuba today. He called me to say hi, and he's like, "Oh, you got them? Those are the 2 laziest, most athletic players ever to play paintball." And I immediately knew why, and we're going to talk about it here, because I would say that both of them are most athletic players. Those assholes only play the corners.
Don't want to hype it up too much, but it should be good. It should be entertaining.
Yeah, it's going to be entertaining. And then, let me write this down. Also, big thank you. Oh, Archie, happy birthday. We got a birthday. We got a lot of birthdays this week, actually.
You wanted to sing?
I was going to, but I'm not going to anymore.
Yeah, because he's probably not watching.
No, he's not watching. Yeah, that's right.
But happy birthday.
Unless he's spending his birthday watching the Spick and Span show. Maybe he is.
He might. That's what I think a lot of people do on their birthday. But yeah, happy birthday to Archie. Maybe shoot him a nice message. on IG.
Yeah, we got Archie Monomer birthday. We had Chris Shear just welcomed his baby boy into the world this last week, in like the last 3 or 4 days, 5 days. Young Dawson Shear. So happy birthday to him. Also, I believe Blake Yarber's son, Bennett, is now 9 days old. 9 days old? Yeah, 9 days old. So we're cruising. And then I got a couple, I think, coming any day now. Who knows? You just really can't figure this
everywhere.
out. There's babies everywhere. Lots of boys entering the Dynasty camp, which is good. So we have a lot of girls out there. And we just want to, equal opportunity. Just want to equal opportunity out here. Okay, and then let's see. What else do we have? We got the happy birthdays out of the way. We also have, right behind Kyle here, is our favorite mannequin, our only mannequin. Also, make sure it makes it our favorite over your left shoulder.
Paul has the other ones. Paul from Matrix Game.
Yeah, we don't need a lot here.
Big shout out to Paul.
That's
he was
right.
He's like, I'll just take your stuff back and hold it there till the next WC, so you don't have to.
That was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Big shout out to Paul. Paul has been a supporter of the show since its inception.
Probably our
very first one.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from you guys.
Yeah.
Aside from all of you guys watching, you were our first supporters. But he was the first one to get have us figure out how to put a logo and say thank you. First sponsor of the show.
Yeah.
Outside of all y'all that have been with us, some of you, and you can see in here, everybody's got a different little emoji if you support the channel. We've got the Spick and Span one. I don't know exactly which ones are which, but I can actually bring up the little list here, and I can give you an idea of how long Mario is up there as one of the top.
What's the highest? 40?
Dude,
40 months?
Let's watch this here. 41.41 months.
Yeah, D-Zone.
Ed Dizon, 41.42 mega support status.
Super mega support status.
Yeah, that's right. Super mega support status. Then Cali Mike Liu, and then Mario Trujillo. 4.706 months.
Epic.
Let's go. And we got rounding up the top 10 here. We got John Washburn, Slarian 1, Fernando Contreras, Mr. Maui Rockstar, shout out to Jesse Poston, Sour Monkey, and Brandon Dillon. And then I think can we see Zuno on there? Oh, there's Alex Fraige. He almost dropped out of supporting us the other day because his credit card expired. He was supporting us just almost as long as his credit card was in service.
Wow.
He's like, I gotta update it. I go, you better up that membership level.
Or we're canceling our magazine subscription.
Yeah, that's right. Speaking of membership support and levels, thank you everybody who's jumping in here in the comments. Short Scable, you're the man. All good. You're gonna get dude, Orlando. You're up there. You're in the top 30. You're in the top 30 with almost 3 years. You're going to be a 3-year member here in about a month and a half. So shout out to Orlando also in there.
40 over 30 months.
Yeah.
40 people.
As some of you may have noticed from one of my Instagram posts and the reshares on the post on Spick and Span show, and there's a community section that all members have access to. It's on YouTube. YouTube isn't really that type of social media thing where you go and check it, but if you check it, you have your notifications on. Sometimes
some Easter eggs.
There's Easter eggs. Sometimes you get the drop for Tigerwear stuff. Sometimes you get discount codes, and sometimes
Paintball Pro gear before it's anywhere else.
That's right. Any of our extra gear that we have. But also, I just dropped. I dropped these Hall of Icons crew neck sweaters and
those are nice.
And t-shirts. Yeah, this is nice, soft. Army Heather.
Army Heather.
Yeah,
it's
Army Heather. Yeah,
it's fitting.
That's what I was gonna name Sloan, but and then feel how soft this one is.
Camille vetoed that.
Yeah, Camille. Feel how soft.
Wow, this is really
you
soft.
can clean your goggles with this.
You could.
I think so, and it's stretchy, soft.
This is nice.
And there we go. You can have one. That's an XL. And then we got Heather Gray, Hall of Icons. Proceeds from these sale of these go to continuing to build on the Hall of Icons project that I launched 2 years ago. My goal is to, as we're inducting players, for players who couldn't make it for various reasons, financial reasons especially. I would like to be able to have a stipend there to be able to get them to events and, you know, obviously build production quality all around and really bring a cool project. A couple of the next two guests that we're going to have on today are most likely going to be in there in the next year or two, more than likely. So I just want to, a little short, just want to, you know, build that up as much as we can and keep it going forever, just in case Oliver gets frustrated or tired of me asking for jackets every year. So that's what we're working for. So let's see here. What else we got? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was talking about the Hawaiian shirts. The Hawaiian jerseys, rather. So there is a link in the description down below. But over Kyle's left shoulder, you can see my Hawaiian jersey that I designed with BFP gear. And there's two versions on there. There is a sunset and a midnight. I'm going to work on getting some pictures tossed up there.
Nice jersey. Flows cool. Well.
Yeah.
Well.
There we go. There we go.
Improved.
Do you see the black one?
No.
It should have been a little bit more prepared for this, but I'm gonna get these up there. Yeah, careful with this guy. Yeah, careful. I'm gonna throw up a couple pictures here so you can have a look, but these are available on bfpgear.com. There is a link down below as well, so you guys can grab those. Put your name on the back. You know, just be all around cool. I'm gonna show you guys what they look like here. And also, big shout out to Gen X Global. We've got a ton of pod caddies that we are trying to give to you. If you're a member of the show, your name is on the wheel, and we'll be spinning that. I've got one literally packaged up right here. This is in. You gotta have special bags for these. By the way.
Yeah.
This thing is ready to go. I think someone just got one last week that had Sloan's signature on it. So congratulations if you get one with Sloan's signature. Well, if you get one with Kyle's signature, that's a top tier one. Mm-hmm. But when Sloan signs it, that means you know you won. So we got one of these. We got a couple of these that are gonna be going out.
It's tough because we have to buy stuff on Amazon so that we can have bags to ship those out.
It's a net zero, possibly even a loss. I got to buy something that fits in a bag this big in order to get it, and then we can't return that item anymore.
I think I had like 4 or 5 of them like packaged together and I was going to bring down and Camille tossed them and I was like, oh, that was gold. You just throw it away.
How we can't give away something on the Spick and Span show. That's what it comes down to. And then another big shout out to Dustin over at GG Sports. I know you guys, they just had a tournament this past weekend. And I believe he's going to have a full tournament series going on all season long. So congratulations to Envious, who took first place in D4 X Ball, ONB2, first place in the D5 X Ball, and Barrel Buddies. I like that. That's a good name. That is a good name. That's going on the list of good names. Yeah. That's what we should do. We should have like a little white, like a board over here, and we can just write like, oh, that's a good name. That's a bad one.
I don't know if I love Division 5 6th place name.
Yeah, Drip Squad. That's the last place on that. You know, yeah, Midwest Fiends. There's some good ones.
Kingsman's kind of cool.
Kingsman's a great name.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Wood Kings. Yeah, those guys.
Grizzlies. That's kind of good name.
Grizzlies a good name. Let's see. Goodfellas, Team Stingers. Okay. Contra. It's all right. I like that one.
Prime Suspects is a little wordy, but it's
good.
Decent. Yeah.
So shout out to everybody in the Midwest out there in St. Louis area. With the good team names.
Yeah, I like it.
You go through the WCPPL. We'll do that before the event. Let's go through all the names and see who's got the good names or the not so good names.
Or the people that do the trolling names because they want to hear like the announcer have to say it. Like who's up next.
Oh, that's a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing. Oh, maybe you guys could help. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but
what do we got?
It's like play on words.
Team Sucker Punch. That's a good name. I like that. But you got to be, if you're into Team Sucker Punch, Billy, you've got to have like really like game plans that keep people on their toes. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I would never expected that to happen again. They got me again.
Just only play the pocket.
Yeah, you can't only play the pocket. That's right. Then obviously NECTR. You guys, if you have been winning anything on the show, or if you buy anything, any of the headbands that I posted, or any of this stuff, I'm throwing in some NECTR. Everybody's getting zazzed up. There we go. Off in the woods. So, yep, there we go. Main Street Crew, The woodpeckers. All right, I like it. Team Glizzy Lips. If someone can enter, this is what we can do. Dan, if no one enters a team Glizzy Lips by World Cup, the Spick and Span Show will get a 10-man team, and we'll enter a 10-man team called the Glizzy Lips.
I like it.
Anybody can join. BYOP.
I was looking at your Instagram homepage yesterday, and that Alex Lips, like red, it just stands out like so.
It's like over by your head. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
But that's
yeah,
it just stands out. It's
clickbait.
like
That's clickbait.
It's huge.
It is good. That's a good one. So yeah, good. The FRAIGE always pays his debts. Good for him. Good for him. All right, let's call these schmucks.
All right.
So we're gonna jump on over to the NECTR projector here. The FaceTime camera brought to you by NECTR here. Okay, we got one. All right. We got one of you. LB. Oh.
Greenspan.
There he is.
Greenspan.
Yo, you got LB too?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
You gotta dust off your camera lens, bud. It's really sweaty.
Dude, hold on. I use this for children only.
You look like my mom trying to FaceTime right now, Johnny.
Dude, I'm trying to get the headphones going. Why does LB's setup look like he's got a live cam and everything?
I think it's
But we can't hear him.
You guys both got live
He hasn't said anything yet.
Oh, his lips were moving. What was that happening?
Oh yeah, he is muted.
Yeah, he's muted.
That's right.
Unmute me, dude.
All right, there you go.
There he is.
What up, JP?
Good to see you. I have these earbuds in, but they're not doing anything, so I don't know what to do there.
I'm so excited. I wanted both of you guys on the show for a while, and
Yeah, Ryan told me yesterday. I'm like, great.
this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Once the kids get back from swim team, I'm going to be doing some juggling out here, trying to figure out where they're not going to be.
What are you gonna juggle? What are you juggling?
Well, I mean, my son's going to be bouncing stuff off of me and screaming and hurting himself. My daughter should be fine. She's already got a broken ankle right now, but she's a little bit more immobile.
Well, just as in case nobody knows who these two guys are, we've got Johnny Perchek, which is the scruffier looking one, and then Brian Fow, which is the cleaner cut looking guy on the left hand side. Brian played on Avalanche. Let's go even further back, right? Why don't you give it to me, Brian?
Yeah, man. So just amateur teams were like Fusion, and then we went Revolution, and then from Revolution we turned pro with Revolution, then Revolution to Image to Avalanche to Miami Effect, Infamous.
Yeah, and he was how old are you, LB?
44.
44. Damn.
Yep.
So when did you go pro?
14.
Damn. Nobody mentioned that when they were giving Oliver all his praise.
No shit, right?
All right, Perchek, let's get a brief bio.
Well, I played on Dynasty for a really long time. I played with LB for one tournament. It was marvelous. Was it San Diego, maybe?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that was during my brief hiatus, and then played with Ironman the next year, and then Dynasty for I think 2 more years after that, 1.5 years, something like that.
Did you end with us or no?
Yeah.
You did. So you came back. We let you back.
Yeah.
I think one of your last years was one of my first years I got on Aftermath when I first moved out. Because you were a bully to me.
Yeah, I can believe that.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
I mean, I for sure remember you playing when I was playing, but maybe because we would just always practice at SC Village or something.
Yeah, well, I was on the East Coast for a lot of that time, so I think when you were retiring is when I was just basically moving out. Unless I was on the Ironman. I was
Were you on Gridlock or something?
Yeah. But we never played out here.
No, of course not. I'm just trying to remember.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, what? So when did you stop playing? You stopped playing. When and why?
So Chicago 2009 was my last event. My son was born in November of 2009, and I mean, you guys take it to a whole level now in terms of travel and like what it demands and what I should say is commands from you to be successful at this game. And you know, dude, I had like 14 years, 15 years, almost 16 years in professionally at that point in time, and I was like, I can't keep traveling the way that we are and try and raise a young man. And so, you know, that was about it. You know, looking back on it, probably would have, you know, could have managed it. May have had to take a little bit of time off, but you know, it's like that's that thing. It's like you can't like only commit a little bit, right? And still try to be, you know, like leading the team, you know, commit to the team for practices, the travel, and, you know, and not do it the way that everybody else is doing it. Just, I don't think that was fair. I mean, you can't half-ass that in my opinion, you know what I mean? And so that was, it was time to step down at that point.
Perchak, what about you?
Well, first of all, I have to keep remembering that I'm actually on the show and not watching it right now. Yeah, so like I keep going to like set the phone down and like maybe pick my nose, and I'm just like, wait, shit, I'm actually on the show here. So yeah, my time was about the same. I think I stopped in 2010, and it was kind of during like when the economy sucked, and I was living. I was back in Northern California. And it was like, you know, I think I would go with Angel or whoever, or maybe even Alex, whatever. I'd fly down to San Diego every weekend, and we kind of just would go our own ways. We wouldn't really hang out that much, and it was just more of like a burden than anything else. I wasn't that like invested, and so like I totally agree with LB. I thought it wasn't fair to my teammates and myself to like not be like super excited about paintball and like playing and practicing, and I just didn't care as much to like want to be good. And I knew like it like hit me one day, and I was like, shit, this is it.
What do you
I think I stopped in the middle of this season.
you did, huh?
Yeah
Same.
So
yeah,
just like yeah, I'm not even gonna finish it out with you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, same.
To be honest, like Ryan was kind of being a dick. He was like Mr. Cool Guy, club promoter, scene guy. So like you never even got to see him. So I'd be like, it'd be me and Alex like getting ice cream and like hanging out afterwards, and maybe going to a movie. And then, you know, Ryan's just like ripping the town, not inviting his buddies out or anything. So I'm like, yeah, this is over with. I'm done. I'll do that at home.
Yeah, what was the one club in San Diego that we always would go to that I feel like it's the only club that we ever went to?
Was it down by the beach?
I feel like I always hear you guys say war stories about moon doggies.
I feel like it was like Miko would always go there. You were there a lot.
Yeah, I guarantee Ryan was there.
We were definitely Blade was like leading the charge. Like,
Was it
every
Voyeur?
Saturday, Ryan would be there shirtless playing the saxophone on the corner. He's such a weirdo.
Yeah, because ended up back in your like I don't know. We ended up back in one house at the time. It was like overlooked like the highway maybe at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place was
Oh
sweet.
yeah, we watched the airplanes land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
That was on the India Street House.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that place was great.
Yeah.
A lot of bums though. That street, like a lot of dust. It was like literally because we were on that flat. Like as soon as you went uphill, I've come to realize, at least out here, and I'm gonna knock on wood, that like the homeless people, they don't like walking uphill to like pillage stuff. It's like as much. I mean, I'm sure that they do, but like it seems like the houses that I've lived in, as long as you're like on a slight incline, it's a little bit safer. And that India Street house was like on the bottom of the hill, and I mean, it would rain and it would just be like you could barely get to the apartment because there were just people like hey, excuse me.
You could pretty much take a zip line to board your flight from that house.
Yeah.
That would have been a great move.
That would have been a great move. I don't know if that would have been allowed, but definitely a great move.
Was it called Omni or something like that?
Omnia, yeah. So that was more of a Miko thing because his buddy Justin worked there.
Yeah.
Before
don't
that,
put
I think
me
it was
in
called Stingery.
Stingery. I wasn't going.
I remember that one.
Yeah, you did.
To JP's point, like I remember being there and then you playing the saxophone at some point in the middle.
Stop it! No, that never happened. That
I don't
happened
think
one
you're-
time.
yeah.
Yeah, that happened one time on Halloween, and that was the best.
you.
Probably PB, right?
Let me point this out. Halloween,
but wait,
year I
hold
learned
on,
how to
real
play the
quick.
hospital. Yeah.
We know for sure that was a lie because you just said that never happened, and then it happened one time. So you're already lying.
No,
Yeah, that's a fallacy.
That never happened in the regards to which Brian pointed it out. Like, I remember going out downtown and you were playing the saxophone with your shirt off. That never happened. One time on Halloween, I dressed up as the sexy saxophone guy, and I put in a full 2 weeks learning the saxophone prior to it. I was also doing push-ups, and all that, stuff to like, and I looked so good as the part that they gave me an all-access. They were like,
They thought you were him.
they thought I was the guy, and they thought I was performing at the place that night.
Nice.
Yeah. I even went up on stage, just walked up there, and just started ripping it.
Did you buy a saxophone?
I borrowed Red's cousin saxophone, and it was not working the next day. So,
You started taking beer bongs out of the saxophone at about midnight.
It's super crusty and like.
yeah. No, that was the last time I really officially dressed up and went out during Halloween, because that was the
No,
best.
I think that you've done more than that.
No, that was the last.
You did the Minion thing well after that.
You think so?
Yeah,
No, the Minion
yeah.
was before
You think
that.
so?
I think the Minion was after.
No, the Minion was first because I was living up in La Jolla, and then I moved down to the downtown place, dressed up as the sexy saxophone guy. That was the last time I dressed up because I won Halloween. There's no way to beat that costume. You can't beat that costume.
I mean, Skinny Kevin has pretty good costumes, but
Yeah, he goes all out, but it's always the same Jack in the Box guy.
it is Jack in the Box.
You want to hear a
many
funny
years.
story we were chatting about? Speaking of Halloween, this one time with Bert Jack. We were just talking about it last week.
I know what you're talking about.
We were,
Yes.
we were so they were like all the the PSP and the NPPL were back to back, so we were in between the final events. So it was like PSP World Cup and then the NPPL World Cup was in Miami. One was in Orlando, one was in Miami. So we had like 5 days of downtime in between, and we're like, well, we're not going to fly home, so what should we do? And this guy didn't even fly. He drove to every event because he was scared of flying. And so it happened to be...
We don't know that was during that time. I'm pretty sure I was flying. Cause I think we were
He would
ripping while
He
I
would
was
have
down
loved the Greyhound.
The Greyhound thing.
Bet
Well,
that
he
we did.
gave me his picks, but he didn't lose. We'll get to that here in a second. So we go down. We're like, let's go to Key West. Let's go celebrate Halloween in Key West. This is gonna be sweet. And everybody's like, yeah, this is gonna be great. So we go down there, and it just happened to be right after Hurricane Katrina hit, and there was no power on the whole island, or any of the islands really. And we're like, whatever. We're already down here. Like, who needs power, right? It's Halloween, and so Johnny goes out to the CVS or the Rite Aid or whatever the place is, and he buys this fancy. It was like right when those inflatable costumes came out, like everybody has them now. But he was the cowboy riding the horse. Right? Yeah. It was actually sweet, but we were all just too cheap to buy anything. And Johnny spent like $70 on this costume, and we're like, yeah, whatever. He's like, this is a good one. Like, I'm gonna get all the chicks in this thing. We're like, all right, yeah, whatever. And so we're like, all right, we're walking down the street. It's kind of dark, and we're like, there's a bar. Let's go in here. And we're in there, and it's like kind of lit by candles, because like there's no light, they're cash only, and we're like looking around. We're like,
For vampires only.
Well, kind of. And we're looking.
Yeah, something like that.
We're looking around, and Johnny is just chatting it up to these 6 dudes, and they're petting the horse, and they're giving him all the compliments he did. We're like, there's no girls in here. We're looking around, and we're like, man, we went to the wrong bar, right? And Johnny comes over, and he comes trotting over, like just shoulders high. He's like, get a load of that. These dudes, everybody loves my costume. Your guys' costume sucks. Mine's the best. We're like, And he's like, they even bought me a beer. We're like, Johnny, we're at a gay bar. He's like, nah. Maybe we are.
Yeah. The costume didn't go over the way I thought it would.
Yeah. And then,
Wrong graphic.
Yeah, it wasn't, it was a good one, though. I mean, everybody did love it.
Great. It's a great costume.
Great costume.
Well, remember the Real World was there, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
see
was on the street by the beach.
No, it was when we were in Key West. Mm-hmm. There is one up there, too. Yeah, I've been here in San Diego. Yeah.
But I wish I remembered the name of the bar, because it was the most obvious name that you would have for a gay bar, but you couldn't tell because the lights weren't on.
Yeah.
So I was just rummaging around in there making buddies.
Yeah. Everybody loved it.
Super friendly in
Yeah,
there.
super friendly. Just keep buying me beers.
Yeah. For, like,
Showered me with
cowboy riding a
compliments.
Most compliments he's ever gotten.
horse. Yeah. Hey,
These guys are all my friends. You guys are all assholes.
buy me drinks.
What do you guys think about? You guys are all watching the webcast, and what do you guys think about how paintball has where it's come right now?
I'll go first, Johnny. Here's what I'd say. I think that it's leaps and bounds ahead of where I think it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot more specific, or speaking of like athleticism. And I heard the comment that Nikki made, and I will defeat that, by the way. But about you and I, Johnny, and we'll bring you up to speed here in a minute. But so, the requirement and the demand that everybody's putting into it, whether it's nutrition or whether it's like lifting or being, in the gym or plyo or, trying to watch fitness. I mean, and you guys aren't like every event. I feel like, 10 years ago was really, you'd go out at night, you'd tie one on a little bit, you could get up in the morning and just play better than most because you were just good at paintball, right? And I feel like that part of the game is completely gone. And I think that the fact that everybody's really dialing in from a coaching perspective to, y'all are watching film now, which, we never did. You really are. And so, the biggest difference I know is, and I think you and I talked about this, Ryan, before, right? It's like, if this happens, then this, right? If then this happens, then this, right? So it's I would say it's systematic in a way. And you see that, and I think that you saw that a lot at this past event because, number one, scores are still really low, right? And it's like, that snake field, that dual snake field is like waiting, right? Like you're just posted waiting for someone to come around, which is fine. It's very, very strategic. There's strategy in it, but it's like from watching it on a webcast perspective, it's a little bit slower, in my opinion. I thought the middle would have been a little bit more exciting than it was, but all in all, man, paintball is doing the best I think it's ever been. I mean, I think what you guys are doing, continuing to promote it, I think the Hall of Icons thing is awesome. I think the Summit Awards was a banger, man. I mean, everybody's still talking about that. So all this stuff outside the lines, I think, for paintball is fantastic, right? Because you just got to the whole goal is to continue to grow the sport, right? And I think that you guys are the tip of the spear right now doing that, and that's fantastic, man.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Johnny, what? Because you're watching it. You come out to our practices. Like you still love it. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, basically, so just on the webcast, the webcast is awesome, and it's gotten so much better every single year. So they did like a kind of an eye in the sky this year, where which I liked, but I think they used it way too much because it's super far away and it's really hard to see. Yeah. I like more like when they're using that like the football camera where it goes on a string and they have more people down on the field. But like the breakouts are really good, like on the top because you can see exactly where everyone goes. And then when they switch to the other coverage, it kind of puts it into perspective. So it doesn't just like highlight one side of the field, but then you don't really know where the other team is and you're trying to just find them. But the webcast is great. And Maddie and Rich do a great job. And I like having, you guys come on and when you're not playing and you hear your guys' side of it and like how you played it or how you think they're playing it. All that stuff's great. The paintball side, I wish they played more events. I'm glad it's 5 and not, I think it was 4 for a while. Like when we would play 15. We would go to Europe too.
Yeah, but there were 2 leagues and
there are 2 leagues. Right. No, I understand, but it was more paintball, and I don't know if they do that because it's as a business, it's too hard to set up and take down that whole venue that often. But in the Europe deal, I wish they would figure out how to allow the American pro teams to go back over there. Because I think that was really beneficial to the Europeans because, like, when we would go to events in the United States, yeah, we had, like, a signing, and there's people... I'm sorry, I'm getting attacked by a bug here. We had signings, and people were, excited to see us, and that was really cool. But when we went to Europe, it was on another planet. Like, we couldn't even play a game. We were talking about this last weekend too. We couldn't even start the game before taking pictures with the team we were getting ready to play. And their wives would come out and the kids, and we're hugging, and it was like it was incredible. And you know what I mean? Like they don't now. Like bro, the Americans aren't even allowed to play over there. You get like one per team. Well, like I would imagine they would want to see.
I think like two or three would be great. We told Tom that the other day too, because it's like
it's a budget thing.
Yeah,
you know, it's like it's kind of like the haves and the have not. Like imagine you've got the four of us are playing, and the
but
team.
That's how it was then. It'd be like Dynasty, Dynasty Avalanche, and like
all A's or something.
Sporadic one other team would come over here and there, but it was like the two teams that were like had the most money, and you know you'd go over there. Well, that happened to be the two most popular teams, so it was like sending, you know, it was so that these European teams once a year they got to see these like. Essentially the best teams in the world would come over once a year to their country. And so it was huge for them, you know, and now they, you know, I think it was the Tauntauns. Yeah, they came over here and did really well, which is sweet because, I mean, when I played, the Tauntauns were there. And then Russian Legion, whatever they are now, Red Legion, they've been playing the whole time too. But they play over here. Do they even play in Europe?
No, they can't.
Yeah, see, what the F is that?
Only one of them could play over there.
Because they're American.
Yeah.
Because you're ranked in the U.S.
Because they're not American, yeah. Well, anyway. But yeah, no, it's cool. I think everyone's, like LB said, super athletic. And it started going to that towards, like, the way of me playing, too. There was, like, not a lot of big back guys standing around anymore just because the fields got a whole lot smaller.
Well, hey, LB, sorry, Johnny, and actually this is for you, too, but it's interesting, right? Because you said like everybody's more athletic now. People are taking it more seriously. Like it's.
I wouldn't say everyone's more athletic, but anyway.
I mean, we're more athletic than the two of you guys.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You see me out there?
The one thing Ryan is better than me now is of anything in the world is paintball. That's it. That's all you got, buddy.
In the whole world.
You can pick a sport that I've never played and just tell me the rules, and you're getting smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the whole like athletic comment, right? Like when I think about being athletic, I mean, I'm not talking about like paintball shape. I'm like maybe like a ball sport, like football, basketball, baseball, softball.
Yeah.
Like the ball that's not 68 caliber.
Yeah. But turns out we were both pretty good at that one too.
Right, exactly.
So Nikki's comment, I don't know, I guess you might not have heard it, Johnny, which is kind of funny because I was actually going to say something like this, but I talked to Nikki right before. Nikki just, he started coaching the newbies team, one of the semi-pros teams, and he's like, man, those guys are great. Two of the most athletic guys, laziest paintball players in the world. And I was like, oh, I didn't get that part. And he goes, all they want to do is they run to the back corner and just hide there the whole time. But it's actually.
Well, what does that have to do with me?
Oh, that's all you did. You two guys are
Hold on.
Wait a minute. Yeah, there's the thing here, right? It's like.
Johnny's. Oh yeah, that's right. Johnny's elbow hurt from 2002. He hurt his elbow, so he never made a dive after that.
Yeah, but how did that start?
I don't know, because you ran to the snake once.
One time. And I kept growing, and none of you guys all stopped growing when you were 15. So we needed people to stand in the back too, and I was twice the size of you guys. So that's what happened.
Right.
I was still the fastest one there.
Right.
I will say that I like how you did. You changed the perspective on your phone. Like when you wanted to get serious, you're like, "Oh, the big my phone. Hold on, I gotta talk to you eye to eye right here." I will say though, it's actually interesting because not interesting. It's pretty cool because LB, I would say that out of like the era of like in the 10-man side of like the era of back players, you were the first like athletic guy that would like play the corners. Usually like most guys, and now you got to just make it to the corner. You got to be the fastest guy on the team at this point.
Yeah,
like we're diving as hard as we can into like the bunker right next to us. But it was actually kind of cool to see that because you're like, dude, you think the first thought you have is like, dude, they're wasting like their fastest guy or like a really fast athletic guy. But when you have a smart, fast guy that can get out to the corner and just dominate right away, it's like game changer. Back then.
Yeah, I mean, it's and what is it, like, your point, yeah, I mean, like, I shot from the back center. I think Johnny and Wolf shot from the back center and then launched, right? Or they did some rendition of it. But yeah, like, it sucked, like, especially if, like, you know, you're low on numbers and not everybody's playing. You're going out in the corner, and I mean, back then, dude, we didn't have like the lush grass that a lot of tournaments are at now, and you're diving into a concrete corner. You know what I mean? And that's not fun, right? Like in Snake, the same. I mean, Spicka, you can understand this too, and even you, Ryan. Like diving into anything hard over and over and over again, regardless how padded up you are, is not cool, right? But yeah, I mean, I think what Nikki's saying is funny, and I think it's comical. But what I would, it's like shit. Like I think the first NXL tournament I ever won, like I never played the corner. I only played the X. Like that was the only spot I played. Shoot and run right to the
Yeah. Yeah, and back then everything was changing so much. So like we played some events where it was uncapped or 25 a set, whatever it was, 20 balls a second, or like. Well, good fucking luck running all the way out there at 20 balls a second. I mean, 12 sounds like a pump gun compared to 20-something a second.
I feel like way back in the day,
we're at 10 and a half,
people were
Johnny.
still making it out there.
What is
Were
it?
you guys just not accurate back then, or what? Like, how are people making it out to the corners when it was 25 balls a second?
Paint, Kyle, it was the paint. Paint was
Okay.
Yeah.
It's at Johnny. It's 10.5 balls a second right now.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I thought it was.
And so, but then also having a guy that's like, LB didn't start out as like playing in the back, So having a guy that can start in the back, but maybe need to be in the 50 snake or the X or whatever, and just fly up there and get in is a whole lot nicer than having a guy that's 300 pounds back there and is never getting into those spots,
It's kind of how this last layout played, too.
Yeah.
Where back guys became like 2s, 1s almost every point.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys play at all still?
Yeah.
Peter's asking. What do you got? You
do you
just
think?
started playing the 10-mans more often, right?
Yeah, so we got the Pro DNA's coming up here in like 3 weeks in Nashville. That event is still open, by the way. But yeah, no, they just got like 35 teams or so. So I'm going out there to play with Infamous. And I actually played this past weekend with my son. He had a little get together with his buddies.
Oh, there we go.
That's how it starts.
Dude, your son's playing?
Oh yeah. He's got his whole. It's all his shit's in my office right now. It's all spread out. It's like he came home just like blah. Yeah, so he's into it. Yeah, he's got like he has a lot of my stuff, but he wears like Trav sent him a bunch of like Pro DNA stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's got a little EMAC, and so yeah, he goes out there. His friends are like they have like really early stuff. So he's got his own jersey that Trav made him. You know what I mean? So he's like, he shows up and he's like for real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My dad used to play pro. How many people have said that and actually like meant it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it actually been true.
It was
Probably
actually true,
just
yeah.
LB.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then the other dads show up. They're like, "Oh my god, like you do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did it."
Yeah.
They come back like, "Mr. Braden Fow's dad is really good. Mr. Fow's really good." You guys are 14, so.
Yeah.
Have you played against him yet?
Oh yeah.
Who wins?
Not pretty. No. I'm like basically like it does. You never have to come out. You can stay in as long as you want until you can't ski anymore. Like
that. Why do you think that the people like back then that I mean you kind of mentioned like they didn't take it as seriously, and you can kind of touch on the mentality on Avalanche and Infamous, but like there was a lot more money involved in the sport back then. Budgets on the teams were bigger. Prize money was triple what it is now, and you get to play in all 15 leagues. Even in Europe, I think first place at the worst event was like 12,000 euros cash, right?
Yeah.
So like, and I think and the MPPL and PSP were both 25K an event, and there was like contingencies, but we take it more seriously now. Like why do you think that is?
I think it's just, I had to answer it, I would say, from a competitive standpoint, everybody wants to be the best because getting access to like seeing who Kyle Spicka is and who Ryan Greenspan is because of social media. Everybody wants to prove that they're good, and they want to have this essentially this reputation that they're good at paintball. Some of that can be a facade, and you can have all that stuff and be trash at paintball. But the other part too is I think that to your point, there was more money from a cash standpoint in terms of sponsorship to teams, whether it was an X-Ball team or a 10-man team or a 7-man team or whatever you call it. But I think the gap between like our generation or my generation, Johnny's a little younger than I am, but we were just better. I don't mean this in an arrogant way. We were better than everyone else and could fuck off basically. Like that. I think that's the difference. Now the bar is kind of level set, right? Everybody is good. You can't screw off. You got to do all the work, and there's less cash, so you got to do work to get whatever cash is available. Right.
Ryan, I have two questions. Do you think that you guys take it more seriously now than we took it when I played?
That's actually a really good question. It's hard to say, right? I think we practiced more back when you were on the team. Like, our practices were longer. They were more strenuous. We shot way more paint, and obviously we had more, higher rates of fire. But, like, we played a lot more paintball, and it was more than just 2 weekends. So, like, it's hard to say. I mean, I won't play.
Every weekend.
Yeah, I won't play paintball again until our next mandatory practice. And before that, like, I played once during the off season, and then it was during a practice. I think I played like a rec ball day,
You
Still got it, baby.
Yeah.
But could I? Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
you think?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So you would think that you probably don't take it more serious than you take it now, then, right?
Well, no. So that's what I was getting at. Is like it's a hard question to answer. I kind of want to say I take it more seriously now.
Efficient, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the best way to put it. I'm more efficient now, right? I'm not going to go out to the bars the night before we have practice, which was. I
think I saw you do that.
I've done it.
I don't know how you did that.
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah, but we would do that. I mean, not even 90% of the time. It was 100%.
Yeah, so I mean, like that's kind of like not taking it 100% of the time.
But never during.
Not during a tournament.
Never.
No, not once. Still now, I don't even. Now
and LB cannot say that.
But
yeah, LB can certainly say we've done all of it.
Yeah,
the whole gambit. So
every level.
Yeah, so it's a really good question because I don't know how to I don't know how to properly answer that question because I want to say I take it more seriously now. Like I eat better prior to an event. Like I'm not eating California burritos 4 nights a week. Like in general, my health overall is a lot higher. If I was still on the same like lifestyle regimen that I was on back then, I'd probably be 20 or 30 pounds heavier and more prone to injury and more groggy and all this stuff. So like I'm taking my life more seriously, which in that is transitioned into paintball more seriously. So our practices, we're still like, I don't know, we still are efficient at practices. Like we used to break down field layouts and all that stuff back then, like for hours, dude. Our meetings were just terrible back then. Like we'd literally argue for 3 hours on which direction some of us should shoot off the break. Now it's like, let's watch the film. And again, I think Kyle put it perfectly. It's like, I think we're just more efficient now.
Yeah. Because, we would argue about that stuff, and it was just, honestly, it was horrible. Like, we were winning.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you going to, you know what I mean? And I don't know. So, for LB's teams were always extremely good. But they were like a little bit opposite than us, as they would rip during the tournaments as well. I feel like they would like half-ass walk the fields, and they would just go out there because they were really good and they're able to beat most teams, if not all of them. But like, I think since we took it, I think more serious than I don't want to say more serious to make it sound like people weren't taking it serious, but I just think there were other things that, without a doubt, I think not even close. Nobody walked fields like we walked fields. I think we paid way more attention to that. We paid way more attention to detail. We did practice a lot every single weekend. Everyone was full in on it. And I think, like you used to hear people would say like, oh, Dynasty, they all live in a house together. They play every single day, which we obviously didn't. But there was like this idea that like we were better because we just played more and practiced more and did all this stuff more, which we may have done that. We obviously didn't play every day. But I think nowadays that kind of transition into like, well, that's kind of what you have to do if you want to be good.
Yeah.
So I think more teams now are like, this is kind of how Dynasty was able to do it. Getting a phone call, sorry. And this is what needs to be done. You know, like the teams that like popped up, like Trauma and these other teams that were like kind of trying to do the same thing that we had. It was because it was a winning formula. They had the Trauma house, and like, you know, you've heard of other like paintball houses. It was like, well, that's what you need to do to win. You need to live together. You need to play every day. You need to all be best friends, and you'll just be good at paintball. And that was like the formula. And I think now it's like a little bit transition to that, where it's just like, you know, you need to be in really good shape. You need to be, you know, really good at your craft. You need to take it very seriously. But back then it was a little bit more of like, we were having fun too. You know, there was like, everyone would go out together, even though you weren't on the same team. It'd be like, where are we going tonight? We would all meet up, 50 people or whatever, at some random bar in Chicago or Tampa or whatever. And I don't know, do you guys still do stuff like that?
It's business now. That's what it is. Yeah. It is. I mean, it's still fun. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is epic.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's more business. It's like, we're here to do a job.
Yeah.
And like LB said, a very low paid job that hopefully you win a lot of times to be able to make it more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, with less money, you gotta hustle now.
That's what LB said. Yeah, that's it. Straight up. And maybe that like kind of lends to the mentality and the mindset of like, if you want to make it and you want to do what you love to do, you're not just going to get a fat check and just be able to sit on your ass. Like, you're going to have to hustle, create your own brand like Kyle did, do these clinics, these coaching staff things and stuff. We can't all just be flying high like you two boys.
Well, that's two boys. Just in full dad mode. I'm just sitting in the back here where you guys are sitting with all the trophies and shit, and I'm just in the backyard next to toys.
Right.
Right.
Looks pretty nice though.
But Ryan's gonna have more toys than all of us soon.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, I know you said I've been cut soon. What's the official due date?
I think the official due date might be Wednesday at noon, high noon on Wednesday.
Wait, like Wednesday, in like a week,
like 7 days. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not tomorrow. Actually, we're doing it at 7 p.m. tonight. Okay. Yeah, after the show, it's scheduled, so we're good.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's coming. It's happening quick. It's happening quick. Which yeah.
Godspeed, man.
What do you think, Johnny?
Dude, like having a girl. You know, we both had girls first. It's awesome. It's easy. They're sweet. They listen to what you say. You have a little boy. Well, you're having two. But everyone else typically has one, and they're different. My little boy's already got 12 stitches. He's taking an ambulance ride. I'm trying to keep him alive every day. That's what parenting is for a little boy, and you're about to have two.
Yeah.
So, good luck.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, LB, you got it out of the way quick. You're like...
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was. It wasn't lack of effort. We had some scenarios and some stuff that happened, but like after Braden. But yeah, I mean, it just wasn't meant to be. But yeah, no. I mean, it's great now. I mean, he's like a grown person, self-sufficient. Mm-hmm. Like, he'll be driving in a year, 2 year, year and a half. You know what I mean? Like, he'll be my new Uber and Lyft. And you know, he's like into paintball, into sports. It's great. Now it's like I got like a buddy. You know what I mean? You know, to Johnny's point, like when they don't listen so well and they just like run their heads into the wall repeatedly. Salt, and yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's great that like Sloane's going to be a great big sister, right? You know, you're going to have you're blessed in that regard, and Camille's obviously a fantastic mom, and you're a great dad. But yeah, Sloane's going to be like big sister. You know what I mean?
She's pumped.
Yeah,
she's not. I don't think she's actually like understood how the sharing thing works.
It's gonna change up
it's
a
gonna
little
change
bit.
Quick, but she's gonna be able to bully him around. She's got at least 2 years to be able to, maybe a year. She's got a full year before like they're gonna be able to like actually take anything from her.
Yeah,
a year and a half.
Right.
Yeah.
Once they tag team, yeah.
And if they stay your size, you might have a few more years than that.
There it is again. Got me.
You told Johnny ever that Blake clinic story? Where the guy asked Blake?
Oh, so we were at we were teaching a clinic. I think it was in New Zealand, and this guy we're talking about how to play these spots, and Blake. I don't know how Blake put it, but I think he was kind of yeah, you want to try to get as low as you can in this spot, and the guy goes, "Hey, Blake, do you ever wish that you were shorter like Ryan, so you'd be more optimal paintball height?" And I look over and I go, "Let me answer this. No one ever wishes they were shorter." Just so they could be a little bit more nimble in paintball. Nah, man. What do you?
Yeah,
how about you, Johnny?
For paintball and jockeys, that's about it.
Right? Exactly. Yep. That's fantastic.
Yeah. What? Just by the way, I want to answer I think someone answered the question on why people were able to make it wide when it was 15 balls a second. The fields were bigger. I think they were longer, rather. Fields were longer or wider. It was one of the two. The dimensions were slightly different.
It's always been 125 by 150, I thought.
Yeah, we might be 120 by 140 right now or something like that. I don't know. Well, someone...
probably.
Maybe we got...
And they would put shit in the way. It wasn't like you just had a mad dash to the corner, and nothing standing in the way. It's
I feel like sometimes...
We didn't know how to blind shoot back then. We didn't know how to, shoot over the top of stuff to, hit a lane, a lane.
Maybe for 7-man, but I feel like some of those old X-ball fields were empty. There wasn't a lot of bunkers.
Yeah, they were pretty empty. I saw one just randomly. It was speaking of Nicky, it was that Chicago event where he ran around with the Slay the Dragon sword. Remember that one?
I think we brought the sword home though.
All right. So back then it was 180 by 100, and now it's 150 by 125. I don't know. Those were two different sizes.
Right.
180 by 100. That doesn't sound right.
Not right.
That's not right. That's like Rage in the Cage.
Yeah.
That's remember that one? LB, did you play that in Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was tight.
Yeah.
We were just out there in Vegas and we were talking about it. We're like, man, what about this and this? Okay, MPPL was 180 by 100.
I was the only person to shoot 5 people in a 3-man tournament.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mowed Yosh and Alex down to start the point, and then I shot the other 3 guys.
Nice.
Johnny's one of those guys, when you're teaching a clinic or going, and you're standing there and you're like, all right, you got to break out, and then they just start ripping the trigger and they just end up sending 3 into your ribs or the side of your head. Yeah. He just stripes everybody.
Yeah.
Ryan, what was the worst paintball that you've ever been hit with to this day?
He loves this story. So we were at LA. I think it was the LA Open or something like that, or
it was practice.
It was practice. It was practice at SC Village.
Yeah.
Johnny comes out, just striping, just shooting his bunker on the way out, and throws one directly in the back of my ear. The back, the back of my ear. I'm gonna grab this paintball just so I can kind of get a little better look at this thing. Caught this thing like a catcher's mitt, right here, right here, and all of a sudden it just goes.
It's like a flashbang.
Yeah, dude, it was. I was walking around. I got up, and it was like that scene in Saving Private Ryan where the guy, the explosion goes off, and the guy's trying to pick his limbs up off the ground, and I was just stumbling around with just this high pitched ringing noise.
Oh man!
And he goes, "Hey, get back in! It didn't even break." And I'm like, "Dude, not happening, dude."
Yeah.
That's
funny. That's the worst. That's the same exact spot. The worst place I've ever been shot in my life.
Oh.
Right there.
In the back of the ear.
I was 13 years old. I was rafting at my local field. And this was back in DO2, and you could liquid down to get liquid and shoot 400 feet per second. Mm-hmm. And I was coming up over this little ridge, and this dude didn't see the giant yellow mask that I was wearing, and I had my back to him, smoked me right in the back of the ear. My nose immediately started bleeding. I don't know, caused so much blood.
I immediately shit myself.
Hit the deck, dude. I was like, what? I mean, I think I was out for maybe 20, 30 seconds. What the hell? 400 feet per second rate.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He charged it up and it ran over the hill. Just.
Yeah. This is some bullshit.
What was your favorite win, LB?
Tampa 2004, 7-man. No, that was a good one too. Probably the Russians when we played, or the Red Legion. I think it was 2008, maybe. It was in Phoenix here, where I live now. and X ball, and like we showed up with 10 because that was when you ran 2 lines because there was no in between match. Show up like JR gets like the
when he had the flu, huh?
What's that?
Was it when he had the flu?
Yeah, he had the flu. Eric Fromm, little kid that was from the East Coast, he like pulled his hamstring. He couldn't play. Posey was our coach at the time. He left to get a death in the family. And then we lost somebody else. We had 7 guys, and then like LaSoya became our coach, which was great because he wasn't with us at the time, and he really helped out, stepped up. But I think me, Glenn, and Travis played like every single point. And
Glenn Forster
on Sunday. Was that?
Yeah,
Glenn Forster.
Glenn Forster was he was back right, and then Taco, me and Trav played like I don't know, it was like something stupid, like 40 points on Sunday or something. This is when like games were like 3 hours long. You know what I mean? Got 50 in one match.
Yeah, that was tight.
I was gonna guess that was gonna be your favorite one.
So someone actually, I didn't even see it until after I asked, but someone else mentioned that too. They were like, was that your favorite, your greatest win of your career?
Probably, yeah. I mean, the first one's always great too, but that was like 10-man, revolution, like before there was any concept scenario. I mean, even before like airball. You know what I mean? So it's like I had the chance to win in every format.
Yeah.
So they're all good. I think your first is always good. I think because of the odds that we were stacked against with, and the Phoenix and the X-Ball one was good. Obviously, and like no bullshit, Tampa in 2004 was good just because we were locked up in the NXL. We couldn't play like the cool events that like the 7-mans that you guys were playing, which sucked, right? So, but yeah, I mean, they're all good. Some stand out more than others, but
Johnny.
I was hoping you didn't ask me that. I honestly don't really know. Our first win when we won World Cup. I mean, that's a pretty cool one to win. But I mean, I don't know. We won some pretty cool ones. Winning the what they call it, the European World Cup, the Toulouse one. That one's always pretty cool because the fans were like just epic out there. Winning that one in Miami, the World Cup in Miami.
Oh, sick.
But, I mean, paintball, but then also everything that else just went on with that. We were there for like a week, and it was really, really fun just being out there. There's been some really, really cool ones. It'd be hard for me to say not my first win, which was World Cup. But there's been a lot of good ones. The European ones are really fun, too.
yeah,
those are cool.
Were really fun. But they were way easier to win. You ended up, they just were, they just weren't.
Let's hear some stories from Europe. Give me because it was a completely different game back then. It was like now it's hard. Like those Tauntaun guys. I mean, if we didn't beat the Tauntauns in World Cup last year, which came down to overtime, they go on to win the tournament, hands down.
I forgot what match won the award for best match last year.
Us and the Tauntauns.
That one. Yeah, that was my favorite. That
us
was
and the Tauntauns.
Epic match.
So it's like a completely different team. And the Tauntauns then were like the best. That was like Europe's shining light. And I mean, it was pretty bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Russians were always really good, too.
They were good.
Joy, was it?
But, yeah, the Tauntauns, was it the other one? The Ugly Ducklings, they were always kind of decent.
Joy Division.
Joy Division. Yeah, no, Joy Division was tight. They were good.
Okay.
But
the first couple of years we went out there, no.
I mean, other than that, it was pretty shaky. I mean, we would we win the Triple Crown 3 years in a row? And it was like the coolest thing to say, but you know what I mean? That the teams over there weren't that great, but we would have to play Avalanche. We would have to play All-Americans. We would have to play Image. You know what I mean? There was always a handful of American teams that we would have to beat. Bobby's guys would go over there like once or something. Yeah. So it was, but they were just traveling over there as a kid, just getting to do all that and the crazy things that happened with it. I mean, I remember a pretty cool one with LB that I without a doubt won't share. I got a van stuck in Amsterdam with Angel trying to get pizza because it weighs a whole lot more with 10 guys in it in gear bags than it does when it's 2 guys and nothing in it trying to leave the parking garage. and we just got it pinned underneath the cement pillar.
Oh my god.
I don't know who's driving when the door came flying off in France.
That was Chuck.
Chuck was driving.
Yeah, and Sonny kicked it off, or maybe I kicked it off.
No, they got hit with that little
parking.
those little parking poles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you kicked it off after, but the parking poles what did the damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Marcus hit Chuck in the lip with that frisbee.
That was me. I hit him in the lip with the frisbee.
I thought Marcus hit him.
No, I did the first straight beam. Speaking of which, I was gonna point out that I'm better at frisbee than you.
I mean, I literally would have to get like 3 warm-up throws in the backyard here, and maybe like a quick stretch, and then that's not even a possibility that you're better than me at frisbee.
Who's better at softball?
But yeah, and now Chuck looks like he has a cleft palate because Marcus hit him. I swear I thought it was Marcus.
No, because remember we were throwing it. We were in the south of France. We were playing frisbee. We couldn't throw the frisbee to save our life. And then all of a sudden, one topless girl walked by, and I just throw a dart, and he goes like this. And he goes, Chuck! And he turns around, and that thing was laser beam rifled right into his, split his lip completely in half. Oh man.
Yeah, when Marcus had he had a guest appearance on stage that one night.
You want to tell that story?
I mean, what kind of credentials do you guys have on this? PG-13?
I mean, just you can tell the story.
Are you talking about in England, London?
No, that was a really good one too. But
we won't tell it. We won't tell it. We'll say
we won't tell that one. I probably don't want to tell either one of them. But I don't know how many of these people knew or know of Marcus, but he was absolutely one of a kind.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest maniacs anyone will ever meet. And he got compromised on stage in France.
Okay, yeah, now I remember. Yeah.
Compromised.
Yeah. I went to the Philippines with him too.
Oof.
And he got compromised in the Philippines too.
That's that kid's like home away from home.
Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah.
It sure was.
Johnny, do you think that you're the funniest guy you know?
Don't spit my water out.
My dad might be the funniest guy I know, but I got it from someone.
Right.
I always see you laughing.
Right.
I'm laughing at how hard you're laughing at the things that are coming out of your mouth.
So I don't get to rehash these. Sometimes I forget. I won't think of some of these things for like 5 years.
Right.
And then someone will say something and it'll remind me, and then like I'm having a flashback in my mind of like exactly how it happened. And it's just as funny as it is now as it was then. When I stoned you in the back of the ear and you almost passed out, that was really funny, and it's still funny today.
Right.
It was one of those remember those little wingnut bunkers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was like just staggered in front of me a little bit, and I shot the side of it, and it just, we were 10 feet away, so I shot him at about 300 feet per second, at least, directly in the back of the ear.
Who do you think the greatest rivalry in paintball was or is?
I feel like you have to do it based off the format at some point in time.
Yeah.
Let's go down the list.
Yeah, like as far as like 10-man, like Shock the All-Americans were probably up there is one of the better ones.
Oh, I got to point out, and you probably would love this, and I anticipate both of you guys being inducted into the Hall of Icons. If not next year, then
if we don't, we're never coming on the show again.
This is part of the lobbying for the next round. But Adam Gardner went up there, right, to accept. Well, I got them all up on stage the first one, and then I inducted the next 10 guys.
I missed this.
And then Adam came up to get his brothers, and it was Adam surrounded by 4 or 5 of the Avalanche guys and another 3 or 4 of the Shock guys, like this, like, we're gonna kill you. And I was like, dude, guys, just chill, man.
Right.
Like, just let it pass. Let it pass, guys. It's been a while.
But funny you say that, Mike. It's not funny, but it's like I saw this thing, like, Lads, I think, was going around with like the cards, like the legend cards. And he walks into Billy Stransky, and Billy like pulls a card. He pulls Billy Renaccia, and Lads is like, oh, like you're the first Billy, right? and Saransky's like, yeah, I'm the first Billy, and then, there's Billy Wing, and then, there's Billy Bernaccia. And then Les goes, well, what about Billy Gardner? And Saransky's got an Aftershock hat on. And Saransky goes like, no one gives a shit about Billy Gardner or the All-Americans. Nobody knows who he is. It's on the All-Americans. Still to this day, like, doesn't matter. Like 40 years later, we still have a problem.
So good.
Yeah.
What was that rivalry about? Like, why was it like why what was wrong? Like, what about the All-Americans? I feel like no one liked the All-Americans.
Yeah, no, they had this, again, here, I'll tell you. So they were, this is, and I don't mean this mean, but it's going to come off, like, they were nerds, right? Like, they were nerds.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a handful of them that weren't.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah. All due respect. I mean, and I love a lot of those guys. And God, I think Adam's great. I see Adam in all the 10-mans, and he's still playing. And God bless him. And his son's playing. His son's great. You know what I mean? I don't play anymore. Obviously, Frank is easy to love and easy to hate.
That's a good way to say it.
But like they had this thing called like the star defense, like in the woods that Bill Gardner developed, and it's like you put guys in certain. Like the numbers were down, and it's like it just don't get shot. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, and Shock, early Shock was made up of like the Lords of Discipline and Scream, which those two 5-mans combined to create Aftershock, and they were like good old boys, man. Like guy backwood Michigan, and guys that you wouldn't want to get,
you don't want to be changing a tire in one of their parking lots.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dude, the Lords of Discipline, that is probably the meanest name of any kind of team. Like, that is such a good name.
Yeah, and it fit for those guys, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and it's like, and then you got to think about it, too, like, with the exception of, like, the Iron Man, like, the first Iron Man before Bob split from Dave and all that, like, it was the Iron Man, the All-Americans, and Shock, like, in every finals, for the... And like once in a while, like a GBD, or once in a while, a Bad Company. You know what I mean? And there's like those guys. They play each other all the time. So they were just they constantly were competing, and I think that that creates rivalry.
Mm-hmm. All right, then more in the modern era, like after 2000, like after 2002 ish.
Yeah, I mean Johnny, you answer like 7-man or X-Ball or.
Well, I mean I would say, aside from the ones that you just mentioned, which were kind of well before most of the people that are watching this show even realized that happened, Right. But I wish people would, I'll get to that in a second, but I wish people would realize how, like, fucking cool, like, Aftershock and, like, Image and, like, Lockout and some of these teams, these guys were, like, they weren't I normally like to make fun of you too, but not to make fun of Ryan and Kyle. But like these weren't little 5'5" like surfer boys. These guys were fucking wood chucking, chainsaw massacre, crazy men. Especially the Lockout guys. Like there were rumors about him eating squirrels, and like these guys were crazy. And like Aftershock was my favorite team. My first favorite team I ever read at Aftershock. And it was Mikey Bruno and Billy Saransky, and these guys were just so tough. And I was like, I thought I was tough, so I'm like, oh, these guys are so cool. They would just fight instead of playing paintball. And I'm like, that's the coolest thing ever. And these guys win the big ones, and they're just fucking tight, And so, like, these guys were sweet, and these teams were so cool. And paintball's way different than that now, which is great, obviously. But it was just such a different time back then. But I would think that most people would think that one of the greatest rivalries was Dynasty and Excessive.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They, especially with that show,
the
movie, I guess, whatever, documentary they made, showing how they like literally built Excessive to beat one team. They like built them to beat one team. And it didn't work for a really long time, and then they finally ended up beating Dynasty, and it was a great show. But it was like all the best players that weren't on Dynasty were pretty much on Excessive, and it was put together for one reason: it was to beat Dynasty, and it was a great rivalry. We played them all the time, and for first and second, a lot.
Yeah.
How about in NPPL?
Well, they would have been in
Well,
NPPL.
that was an
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, like in X-Ball, like you guys, Dynasty and Excessive were late. You know what I mean? Because like we did the whole NXL thing, and then like it opened up, and then
LB, who would be Avalanche's number one rivalry or rival team? Or you guys just didn't really? You guys like no one really hated you guys. You guys were they were just kind of like upset that you guys were.
Yeah, and like initially, like probably Image. You know what I mean? Like because like that one year, like Image 1-2, Avalanche 1-2, and then we both stepped on our. You know, at World Cup. I mean, I would say probably I was actually on Image when that happened, and so was Travis, and then we switched to Avalanche after that. But yeah, I mean, then like later on, I mean, you know, on off the field, I think it would be Dynasty just because like we were always competing for the same spotlight, for the same cash from JT, from the same paint. I mean, we had like parallel sponsors, right?
Right.
So it's like who. Not necessarily just on the podium, but like who had bigger superstars, or who could you promote more so you could go out and get Black Fly sunglass sponsorship or Vans shoes or like whatever. And, I think
I think that was at World Cup when the Wood Sniper unfortunately ended a pretty sweet era. I mean, Avalanche was there wasn't even really a close second. There really wasn't.
Yeah. No, we used to have like tents and booths and a DJ booth and carts and margarita machines and like talent walking around, you know.
WDP would do like that player party or whatever that you guys just had. I wasn't there. I heard it was epic, which is
it's really good.
I hope they start doing those more.
Maybe we get an invite next year.
What'd you say?
I said next year maybe we get an invite. Who knows?
I know. I already told Ryan. I was talking to him the other day, and he's like, "Well, at least you're not yelling at me as much as LB." And I was like, "Well, I'm not. I'm not gonna."
Everyone was invited.
No, they weren't inducted.
Oh, inducted.
Okay,
inducted.
Your names are on the list. You guys were at the top of the list. Doesn't mean it's alphabetical, but like your names are on there. I just want to point out.
I was watching him pick the names, and he did a hard scratch.
No.
With like a look of disgust, shaking his head.
I'm not gonna give it to Project.
Yeah, and I told Ryan, I was like, well, I'm not one to sit here and like plead my own case, but then I did. And then I pointed a few things out to him, and he was like, shit, I'm not sure I even realized that. And I was like, yeah, name one other person who's got all those. Not even himself.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
That's true. Because you've only been on one team.
Oh.
So I got you.
Good point.
So just to point out, I believe I might have told LB this last year. I don't vote. I'm not even on the voting board. I just created the thing. And I put myself, I abstained from the voting board because,
Are you pointing that out to the people that are watching or to me? Because I already know.
Yeah, it's everybody. Everybody.
Yeah.
He's probably reiterating it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the only time Ryan and I talk is like he invited me on the show and I haven't talked to him in 10 years.
I just hung out with you the other day. You spent the night on the wooden roller coaster like you do every time.
You like that? Hey, did you laugh at that?
I did.
Whose joke was that?
Well, technically, yours. It was your joke, Johnny.
Thank you.
That was a good joke.
and
we stay at this Hampton Inn and Suites, and he stays on the pull-out couch every time. And it sounds literally like someone's on a wooden roller coaster because the thing's so squeaky.
Literally, as we're like finally done like talking, we're getting ready to go to sleep, and the last thing he says when the lights are off is, "Hey, try to keep it down over there." Because every time I even try to move the pillow, it's the loudest.
The metal springs
are
just
sleep.
digging
And
in.
like Ryan's sleeping like a king in the bed. I can lay on that thing and have my feet touch the ground, like flat on the floor. Ryan would sleep in that thing like a baby. He couldn't even touch any of the ends of the bed.
Yeah, I'm practicing. I'm throwing my body in the ground like all weekend, getting just beating myself up. You come for one night and you want me to give you my bed?
Yeah.
To watch you just sit in my bed and drink high noons and fart in my pillows.
Was that actually a question, or were you like making a joke?
I don't think I've ever slept on one of those hotel pull-out couches and it not be miserable.
Yeah, Johnny slept on it 100 times.
Every weekend that I go up to watch you guys.
Yeah.
Remember that picture of Red?
Yeah.
He still had swim comedy, didn't?
Yeah. After a Chicago event, he passed out in the. It's actually on the top of my.
God, Red in the stands.
LB, there's a
so
picture
epic.
of Red. I have it on my phone, and he used to just get absolutely. So he's on one of those pull-out couches.
It's the first picture on my whole entire photo
completely
list.
stark naked, but he's so sunburnt, so it looks like he has swim trunks on.
I'll show you two guys.
Oh, there it is. Oh, please look at this.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I can't show it to anybody else. I'm going to get a strike.
Accessible.
What?
Is that your screensaver? How'd you pull that so fast?
Background.
It's it's the first photo in my entire photo album on my iPhone. The number one photo. It's like that was the first photo in 2009 when I got an iPhone. I was like, oh cool, take a picture.
That's a good one.
That's a good one to keep.
Those are good old days.
Yeah.
At the what was the place in Florida we'd all stay at?
I don't know. The
Days Inn.
Ramada.
Well, yeah, that's when we started winning, and we upgraded the Ramada. But before we were at the Days Inn.
Yeah, the Days Inn. That was a rough one.
Yeah.
How many different winners do you think there's going to be this year in the NXL?
I think you have like 5 events. I think 3 teams. I think 3 teams will win all 5.
Yeah, I think there'll be 3 teams. I think I think the teams making it to Sunday is going to be interchanging a lot.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be like Tampa. For instance, Tampa didn't make Sunday this week or whatever 2 weeks ago. I don't know that that's going to happen again, but that's one that's like, holy shit, how did they not make Sunday? I think some of these new teams, and I feel bad for not knowing all their names, although I know who they are when I'm watching them. It's like Paintball Fit, I think, is one of them. The Bears aren't new, but they're kind of new. But what's the other one? So was it Paintball Fit that won everything every single time?
Yeah.
And then Blast Camp.
The other one?
Blast Camp.
I think one of those 2 teams, I think they're good, man. I think you're going to see them on Sundays here and there.
That's crazy. All these teams are 1 and 3 teams from here down, pretty much. Like Blast Camp went 1 and 3, and Fit went 1 and 3.
Yeah.
That's wild. And Fit is in that top 3. So I'll give you guys the brackets, and you guys can give me your final thoughts on what you think the brackets are going to be. And thank you, Johnny. Also, Johnny sent in all of his picks. He highlighted them, sent it screenshotted. He was like, these are my picks.
But you know what's funny? I didn't know that you guys did that.
Oh, yeah. I thought you just wanted to be a part of the action.
No, I went through. I literally highlighted them and was like, "This is what I think." I just sent it to you just because I was joking about not talking in 10 years. We talk pretty much every day, but I went through and just sent it, and then you were like, "I'll add you in there." And I honestly don't watch this entire show. I usually watch some of it, but it's like a couple hours, and I watch it when I'm going to bed. So I watch picks when you told me that.
Johnny loves to fall asleep to a good show. You cut out a little bit, I think, when you were talking shit. But we did picks here, and yes, we did all these picks. Let's see them here. And actually, we got to figure out what did we decide what last place is getting? Because you and Rainey shared last place.
I think there was another person in that chat. I think it was
No,
Damien.
I put Damien in there to kind of soften the blow because you guys went 0-2 that day, and I know that Damien didn't really care that he went 0-2, but the tally Damien went Damien and John. And just to point out here, Johnny, you and Damien were tied for second to last place.
Yeah, I put a little emphasis on Aftershock. They sucked. And I think I may have given Kyle's team a 1 win, which I probably shouldn't have because for some reason they fucking suck. And dude, they have some guys on the team that are the best players in the league, and they've been playing for a really long time. And to be that fucking bad, I have to whisper because I don't want my neighbors to hear me. To be that bad with that much talent and that much experience should be embarrassing. So I hope you hear that, Kyle.
It's pretty.
And
I did hear it.
Come out and get second place at the next event.
I mean,
See what I did there?
Yeah, that's good.
It's been the week's been pretty rough after that.
I mean, I feel like it's not for not lack of trying, but I don't know if you have too many Chiefs and not enough Indians or what. But you need to put your best players on the field and let them eat.
Yeah.
Like I honestly don't even know some of these guys, and they could be really good, and they could be really bad. But like you probably know if they're good or not because you're good at paintball.
Yeah.
So and you coach paintball teams, and it's not like you're like, oh, I was confused about the layout or what. There's no way I would believe that if you told me that. So I don't know what you're doing to fuck it up, but like you guys have had like horrible placings too many times for being that good.
Yeah.
And
well,
maybe
also,
that
too,
will
we've
be
had
like,
like
oh,
5
Johnny's an
different.
asshole. We got to prove him wrong. Please do, because I don't want to see you guys getting shit on.
We've also had 5 different coaching changes in 6 tournaments. I know it's not like it.
But here, you know what I mean? Here's
Yeah.
my take on coaching. Like, for a long time, Dynasty didn't even have a coach because the players know what to do, right? But you need a coach just to put a little bit in the pro division.
Direction, leadership.
Because the players are going to be better than whoever's coaching, right? But a lot of times in the divisional, like you're coaching a divisional team where you're going to be better than everybody in the whole, obviously, without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
So you're going to be giving these guys input of what they should be doing better. A coach in a professional division is just going to be putting structure to what's happening, you know? So it's like, you know, there's a million things the coach is going to be doing, but it's not like making you guys necessarily play better. Like when you're playing the field, you know what you're supposed to be doing and what was working and what's not working. So you're just relaying that to this coach. You know what I mean? So I can't, you guys could have no coach and probably do better, you know, in my opinion. And I'm not, you know, Kyle.
No, there's a lot of things to
I know you
dissect. Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah.
I like you a lot, so I'm not.
No,
taking
I don't
fun
feel.
on you
I'm
for,
not.
for no reason. You should be doing better. You're
I'm
very
not. Yeah,
good.
I'm not
And
taking it.
You have a lot of guys
on
on your
me.
team that are very good, and you guys should do. You know,
Totally agree.
You're losing against teams that I never even heard of that I couldn't name one player on the team.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm old more than anything else. But
No, I get
I
it.
still know Ryan.
You're not wrong.
Still know me. What do you think of these brackets? Because I'd like to hear your guys' takes.
You might need to send it to them because I don't know if they can see.
Yeah, like I see half of your guys. I don't see the whole. Deal right now.
I was gonna name it off, but I could certainly text it to them.
Yeah, because then they can see it, and I think the camera doesn't go away.
I just don't know where.
You want me to do it?
If I pull this show up on like my computer, is it?
That's the move. Pull the show up.
You pull the show up and then you mute it.
Mute it, and that way you can also read the comments because a lot of people are talking shit about you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we got Dynasty, X Factor, Fit, Ironman, and Extreme all in the same division. I guess I kind of didn't even really think about it when I looked at it, but Extreme would be the dark horse wild card in that one, because like they didn't do well at the last event, but that's not to say that they shouldn't do really well, right?
So, what do you want? Just pick 2 from each one?
You can just kind of talk about them. LB, can you see them?
You guys still have the same numbers, right? I just texted it to you.
Yeah, I got it.
Just give me thoughts.
So, are you
Ooh, that was a grinder. He's a grinder.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty balanced, though. I mean, if you look at, I would say this is pretty damn balanced, though. I mean, as far as all 4 brackets, right?
I mean, yeah, they're certainly more difficult on paper, like the way that they look, than they did all of last year. You know, like to have, because like once Fit and Ironman start making their way up and like a little bit, the Bears are up a little bit, and then you knock teams like Damage and Diesel down to the bottom with NYX down at the bottom. You know, those are tough brackets. I mean,
so you want 2 from each bracket, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
I feel like the divisions, it's a lot harder now. Like just as a whole, everyone's getting a lot better.
In your division, I would say Dynasty X Factor. I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
B's a little bit tough. Group C, I would go Infam and Damage. Group D, my pick would be probably Heat and Aftermath. And then B, I'll come back. So B, I would say Impact, because I feel like they have to bounce back, right? And then I feel like Shock will show up.
Yeah. Okay.
You could pick 2 wild cards too there.
Let's pick
Oh,
two.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Perchak, what do you? Oh yeah, 2 wild cards.
Yeah, my wild card, I'll give you my two. So wild card would be the Hurricanes, and then I would say AC.
All right.
Yep, thank you.
Thank
You
you.
skipped B.
What's that?
I think LB skipped B.
No,
No,
went
you
back
got
to
B.
it.
It's Impact and Shock.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going Dynasty, X Factor. I am going Impact and Hurricanes. I am going Damage and Red Legion. And I am going Heat and Revo.
Yeah, Revo had a good event.
My wild cards are going to be Shock and Influence.
Wow. Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
What team surprised you the most at this event?
I always go to call them the New England Hurricanes, but the New Orleans Hurricanes.
Yeah. Do you?
I would say probably. I mean, I would say Aftermath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, them too, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Hurricanes have kind of been knocking on the door, but Aftermath, considering like the youth they have and like the change and just how like the work that they're doing, I think that they're, they definitely are putting in a lot of work, and that just for them to do as well as they did, I think that was pretty cool.
Well, and that's not even Mike's team anymore, right?
No. It's
Yeah.
it's full on Wayne. And
Yeah, that's why I didn't know anything about them.
Mm-hmm.
I would always bet on one of Mike's teams because Mike's just been really good at it for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know. I mean, I was blind looking into them, and they did great.
Yeah. Did you anything stand out about the Hurricanes? I mean, I feel like I know one of the reasons why Hurricanes. I feel like I know one of the reasons why Hurricanes did so well, and while the top teams that didn't do well, why they didn't do well. But is there anything that stood out about how the Hurricanes played or what they were doing that kind of attributed to them winning?
Well, the only game I watched them play was the one against you guys in the finals, and you guys went down 0-3 right away. But they shot off the break. They outshot you off the break every single game, which doesn't happen that often with you guys, especially when you're winning. Like you're good at getting up off the break and then keeping the pedal down and not letting people make the move to because 5-on-4 is not really that big of a deal, but if you shoot an important piece or whatever piece that is that you shot, you're able to capitalize on that really well. And they were doing that to you guys in the beginning, and that seemed like it hurt. So them shooting off the break seemed like they were doing a good job.
Hey LB, before I ask you, have you ever thought about would you ever come back and start coaching?
Yeah, I mean, I think that yes is the short answer, right? Because I think that it is there could be a lot of value add, especially with maybe a younger team. I don't know if I would maybe jump into helping Trav or doing anything like that, but I think what you and Kyle do, I think is kind of cool. I mean, I feel like it's like a more localized, sort of like national, regional, or not national, like a regional sort of scenario. There's a field here, AZ Battle Zone, that's got a local team. They asked me to kind of come out, and I think Rusty may be starting to help him out a little bit. But yeah, no, I think it would be from a local level. I don't know if I could commit to going to all 5 major events, and I feel like you guys are there now for like 8 days. You fly in on the Friday before, you play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you do something on Tuesday, and you walk the field. It's a lot of paintball and a lot of time away. You know what I mean? Just from a career standpoint, it would be hard to do, and being a parent standpoint. But yeah, I think from a regional level, it'd be a lot of fun.
Johnny, what about you? Do you think you'd coach? I know you don't want to get on this, but
So I hate coaching, to be honest with you. I've never liked it. Like a long time ago, we used to do those clinics, and I absolutely hated them. But they paid us, but it's only because sometimes it's hard for me to kind of relay what I'm trying to have accomplished. Just because a lot of things I'm able to do, it's just like once I'm able to do it, I can just do it, and I don't really know why. It's just I need to like have the repetition, and then I can like figure it out. But I have always really liked like breaking down like a game, like not necessarily a game plan, but like figuring out how to like close a game and like little spots to like go to and like have something blocked out to sneak into here. And like I always like, not that I like preach to you guys, but when I watch the tournaments and give my or the practices and give my input, like I'm always trying to say like, how do we get to here to start shooting loaders? Because like that's the easiest way to kill people. They're not shooting at you. You get to shoot at shit that's free, you know. And to close a game, in my opinion, it's always about sneaking somehow around into the middle, not as the front guy, but as one of the back midfielders and clipping loaders. And as soon as you get like one piece falls, then the whole game falls, you know? And like, I've always really liked doing that and trying to figure out how to do that. But like, I can't figure that on paper. I need to be like standing there looking at it. So I think that, yeah, I could probably help some teams with that. Not necessarily pro teams. Most of them know how to do that. But so the long of it is no, I don't want to coach.
Well,
but I like helping out where I can, you know, like it's like
yeah.
Dynasty has a lot of young guys now, you know. I'm not going to walk Ryan around the field and tell him what to do, you know, but don't do that. I saw that. I see there's like Mikey Urena, like I love Mikey and he's way better at paintball than I am now, you know, but like sometimes guys just haven't seen it all yet, you know, and he was, not only is he like, he's taller like me and he's super athletic and I feel like super easy to coach. And I could tell he liked when I would just mention things to him. So like I continually like watched him and just would mention little things like, hey, in this situation, like you could try to do this or maybe try to do that, or like get your ass to the end of the snake, stop messing around in the back spot, you know, or like different things like that. And he was like super receptive and loved hearing it. And it made me think like, wow, maybe I would be good at doing this. So it is kind of fun. It's kind of fun, but not for me, I don't think.
Well, LB, there's a lot of teams, guys in Arizona, I think, we're already like, well, so where do we get, what field is he coaching out of? What team is he going to coach? So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's, I think it'd be cool. You know, I feel like it's to Johnny's point, you know, the youth is a lot more of a value add than, you know, trying to tell you guys what the hell to do there. It's half the time you guys ain't going to listen anyway.
Yeah, realistically.
I should probably listen, though.
Be combative. I listen to you, Johnny, when you're like, yeah, this guy's doing this, and you should like check this out. I'm like, yeah, actually, you're right. You know, still got it.
I know. I'm just kind of more busting your balls, but
I know. I like it. Well, speaking
and when you're getting smoked, I'm the first one to text you mid-game, even though I know you're not going to look at it, but I'm like, yo, you're a magnet right now. Would you cut it out?
Right?
Yeah.
For Archie, too. Archie's another guy. Like, what are you guys doing? Just don't get shot. If you just don't get shot, you're going to win every time.
Yeah, that's okay, guys. That's actually the perfect end right there. That's the bookend right there. Just like if you guys want to win, just don't get shot. And then you couple that with actually shooting a couple guys here and there. Like if you're never getting shot, you're doing pretty good.
Just ask Marcelo.
Marcelo's great.
Yeah, he doesn't get shot. Yeah, he doesn't get shot. You're right.
Marcelo doesn't get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't get shot much last year.
No, he sure didn't.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. The Holy Grail. You guys all sat here with us for an hour and 40 minutes, and that's the nug that you need to live with.
You want to get good at paintball, kids.
Don't get shots. Don't get eliminated.
As stupid as that sounds, though.
No, that's right. That's
Don't
it.
get shot.
Yeah.
Survive.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Booyah. Well, dude, guys, thank you very much. I need you guys regularly on the show. We need you here more, just to talk shit. Love it. After every event to get a little post game recap. Anytime that you want to come on and just talk a little shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to tell yourself a joke.
May when I'm down there.
Yeah.
We should have you
in
live in the studio.
He's coming in. He's coming down.
Nice.
May.
Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? I think I fly in on Tuesday.
Yeah. Come straight over to the house.
Well, fly. I don't know about all that, but I'll be there on Tuesday.
I get in on Tuesday.
And we'll post your guys' phone numbers in the chat box just if anybody wants to hit you guys up about coming.
Yeah.
After.
Make sure you do that, pal. If you really want to get on my shit side, if you want me to start complimenting you a little more, you won't do that.
Johnny and I come as a package.
Yeah.
Deal.
Yeah.
It looks good. You guys are. I was saying you guys could be brothers almost.
We are kind of, and if you get some Captain and Cokes, we'll get it like around 2002, and get a handle of Captain and a little liter of Coke, and we're in there.
Get some drinks in here. We got a fridge over there.
Yeah. I'll make sure the fridge is stocked when you come out here, Johnny.
In the garage.
It's the studio.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We'll get bottle service in here.
It's a studio. It's a closet. Yeah, we'll get the whole
catered
deal.
bottle
We got
service.
some McAllen up there. That's not as good as Captain.
No.
All right. We gotta run because I got some wheels to spin and get some prizes. But
Yeah, I need to take a leak.
and you gotta take a leak. Yeah, you did 2 Coronas and 2 High Noons.
Yeah, no, you're counting, not me.
But they
I miss you. I miss the late night text too. You start rattling them off at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Sometimes I love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no sleepers for the week. Yeah, I know. But,
I agree. I can't fall asleep till 2 a.m. every morning.
right. But keep up the good work, boys. What you guys are doing is awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right, boys.
All right. Later.
Later.
All right. Let's gotta push this button, I think.
Well, yeah.
All right. No, we got another one.
I know.
And
I just
then.
wanted to
I
actually pop up the phone numbers there.
Oh, no,
You know.
that would have been all right. That would have been okay. I would have been all right with that.
Yeah,
All right.
you would have been, but because then they
Oh,
would
there we go.
been like I
Okay.
actually did it.
Let's go. Wi-Fi. Speak and span. All right, we're going back to back with the guests here, guys.
What up? Stars.
There we go. What up? Okay, and admit. There we go, Mickey.
Hello.
Hey guys, sorry we kept you guys waiting there for a second. It should be on a.
There you go.
There we go. Just put it on the other one. So
All good.
Okay, cool. That way whoever's talking is front and center.
Highlighted, yeah.
Highlighted as it is. Mark, what up?
How you doing, man? How you doing?
All right, there's Mickey. Mickey, what up, dude?
What up?
Dude, look at that background. Oh, that's a Kirgo background.
What's going on, fellas? I fell asleep waiting. I'm super sick right now.
Oh, sorry, dude.
I just tried to shower it off, and I stumbled down here.
Oh
Now we're here.
Tried to shower off the sickness. I appreciate that. I'm not gonna keep you guys long. I talked to Mark a little bit. I just wanted to again. I want to thank you guys for setting the whole Kirgo thing up. Kirgo.com. I know a lot of people were very successful and it worked really well. And I think it's such a cool thing for the sport to like have people in there. And but right, just real quick, one of our buddies, literally, he's been a friend of Kyle's for 10 years and a friend of mine for almost as long. And I don't think he's ever really watched paintball. He's never played paintball. He doesn't really know much about paintball, but he watched every single match.
For 22 hours he watched.
Yeah.
And he loved it.
That's how
He's
it
a
goes,
fan
man.
now.
You got money on it. You want to see where your money's being spent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was just one example, right? I mean, obviously he already knew about paintball. He's like, all right, cool, Ryan and Kyle are really good, but like that sort of thing, and maybe he tells his buddy like, hey, you know, I won a bunch of bets on this thing, and like this was legit. I think is super important. There's Mafia, right? 160 to 1200 for himself. Let's go.
Wait,
you
how
know?
do I pull this chat up? What we do last time? How did I do this?
Oh, the chat. Oh, you gotta go.
A lot of people were successful here.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Let me I'll send you the link.
One.
Just pull it up on YouTube and then mute it on YouTube.
Just make sure when you pull it up this time, you don't pull up the cleaning service. It's an actual podcast we're on.
I can't tell which one it is.
Type in Ryan Greenspan, or Kyle if you send him the link.
Yeah.
That's a freaking span show, but like, how do I mean, just click this
Just
one.
click it.
Oh yeah, I see myself.
That's you. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. What were you wearing this sweatshirt, or are you wearing the sweatshirt from last time?
Oh, I'm wearing this sweatshirt.
All right,
At least
that's
it's
you.
a crazy coincidence, or I'm
That's you.
watching it.
Yeah, it's you. And I want to point out one thing, because like I'm not really in the gambling or betting side of things. Like I've never really I've bet here and there and stuff, but like on the online side. And I ran into a couple people. Obviously, everybody when there's something new want to give pushback, and they're like, no, it's I don't know, it's, they're paying cryptocurrency, or oh no, it's gonna be, they're just not gonna pay you out. Everybody I talked to got paid out right away, and like the money is in their hands now, which is like, I don't know. I think it's rad.
And our buddy said that he was like, I do like to do this, but sometimes I worry about some of the sites, and he was like, everything's completely legit.
Have you heard of a single person not getting paid out on winnings?
Nope.
But numerous, endless accounts of people who won and also got paid?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Mafia says within
feedback?
2 minutes or 10 minutes it was in his MetaMask days count. And I also want to point one thing out. This is an interesting statistic, and I think everybody, a lot of our viewers can appreciate this. But because a lot of people don't know like how they're gonna get on, like, oh, I can't get on, like you need like a VPN or whatever. For everybody who's watching this from Texas, and any other state where websites where like pornographic websites, for instance, have been banned, searches for VPNs have spiked 400%, especially in the state of Texas. So if you guys live in Texas, y'all know exactly what a VPN is. I already know this.
You got to think like this. VPNs are legal. They're free. It's only one click of a button, and their actual intended use is to protect you from potential leaks or hackers, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you're using a VPN, it's moving like your IP, and so people can't track you and get your personal information, especially because it's a constantly rotating thing. So it does serve like a real purpose. And yeah, just as you pointed out, like Texas where you can't watch porn, yeah, you can on a VPN.
And I was actually just in Montana, and one of the guys that I was on the ski trip with, who also plays on my team and is a really good friend of mine since I was a kid, I'm not going to name his name, but he also mentioned that the state of Montana had banned Pornhub as well. But I wish I knew about VPNs.
I want to check the source.
Yeah, but there it is, so like you can there's multiple reasons why you might need one depending on what you need to get done on the internet. Yeah. So but you guys, I just wanted to real quick again, I know you guys your time is you got stuff going on and you're not feeling well. But what were some do you have any stats? Do you have any stats from the
Yeah, I got a couple. I got some cool ones actually.
Dude, let's hear it.
Awesome.
So on Sunday, which is finals day, Sunday alone, there was $114,091.69 wagered specifically on paintball on Sunday.
Wow.
Coming from the links that you pro players are posting, like including when you posted on this podcast, there was a total on Sunday of $154,712.07 wagered across all sports and gambling, whatever, right? Like table games. I don't know the specifics of like where each dollar was gambled, but coming from your guys' links. And then a total on Sunday of $42,757.49 was won, a profit, from people gambling on paintball.
Damn.
Yeah. And I actually have, I could look this up. I didn't because I've been under the weather today. I think I know who the single biggest paintball betting winner was. He sent me his account. I don't know if he's going to get mad if I say it. I hope he doesn't. We'll call it even for all the money he made. But it's HK Kenny. He sent me a screenshot of his account. He won $9,621.43.
Dude, Kenny.
So I'm pretty sure Kenny used my affiliate link, so that's not good for me.
Yeah, somebody won $12,000. I just don't know what the person's name is. I didn't look. But Kenny's definitely one of the bigger winners on paintball.
Hell yeah.
That's a pretty good day of hanging out, I'd say.
I know. Wow. I didn't. You know what's funny is one of my buddies, or the friend of mine who also did pretty well in there, but like wasn't really okay. He was like, dude, I'm crushing it. I'm doing so well. Like I lost these ones. He's like, and just so you know, I bet on Blast Camp against you guys. Plus because they gave him 5.5. And he's like, so I bet on Blast Camp, but I had to take it. No offense. And then right when we beat him, the camera was in the thing. I'm like, sorry, Carter, because we beat him 6-0.
I gotta go back and watch watch that. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
I don't know if they played it or not, but the camera was in the pit. I was like, sorry, Carter.
Holy shit! How cool is that? That's something I didn't even think about. But how cool is that? Like, if you know, like, your homie is out of here gambling, now you can talk shit through the Go Sports camera. You know what I mean? And no one even knows.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people lost money on that blast camp. There's Mafia lost money on that one too.
You know where I gotta double check if more people won money or lost money was betting with or against Notorious. Good job to them.
Amazing job.
Yeah, I was stoked to see them do so well. You know. No, man,
there's a few
it's cool.
upsets.
It was.
Well, hey, Sully 916. He goes, my sports book didn't. He uses Crazy Wager, didn't have the NXL odds. Well, yeah. So this is only available on Kiergo. So the Kiergo.com, that link that's above there. Sign up for that, and then you can add that. You can add. They have you guys have all the. It's like a normal sports book, right? You can bet on anything from there, right?
Anything: football, basketball, women's table tennis, whatever.
You got it all.
Yeah. Football,
Yeah, if you
basketball, hockey, everything.
Sully, if you click the link that Ryan posted and you follow the instructions through that link, that'll bring you straight to the website where everything is offered that we're talking about. Yeah, especially paintball, specifically paintball as well.
Yeah, Aftermath got people paid, and then there's March Madness. You got March Madness going on right there. I don't know anything about that. I've seen these things.
March Madness basketball this month.
Yeah. I mean, I know what it is, but there's no chance I'm betting on anything.
I don't remember if I made the post, but I definitely recorded the video. I think it was, I'm gonna say Friday night. Like, super encouraging Aftermath. I have it in my phone. I was like, just so everybody knows, I don't know if this is considered like insider trading, but I'm betting all my money on Aftermath. I don't remember if I posted it, but yeah, man, they did great. Also, they got people paid.
Yeah, I mean, dude, those guys were crushing too. Like, it's stoked for those dudes.
Yeah.
I like, and we were talking about the brackets here for a second, you know, like just with Brian and Johnny Perchak, and it's cool to see like how they viewed them, but like also just how gnarly the brackets are now, right?
They're out of control right now. They're really truly out of control right now.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you not choose 3 teams from every bracket to move on right now? It's like,
dude, it's gonna get harder and harder and harder. Mickey, did you end up playing? How'd you guys do?
I'm actually pretty upset with the outcome. We didn't make Sunday. We played day 1 more times than not with 3 on the starting box. One of the refs is not even a joke. I'm sure it's on camera. There's so many media covering me when I play, you know, that I'm sure it's on camera. One of the refs took his shirt off midpoint and tried to fight my coach midpoint.
Shut up.
I swear to God. Yeah, it was exciting. Yeah.
When you don't come to the divisional fields very often, which I can't imagine either of you guys really do, things get pretty chaotic over there.
Oh no,
it's like another world,
dude. We talked about it. We've talked about it. World Cup. It's like the fire festival, dude.
Yeah.
When you walk outside of the pro pits and you go out like past that paint truck, dude, it is like triage, dude. There's people just laying on the ground sleeping. Bags of paint are open. It's like, some people got like, you know, we'll work for paint signs, you know, dude. It's like. It's gnarly out there, but I did like how they set up the layout on this one. It was kind of spread around a little bit.
It was a lot cleaner than normal.
Yeah, it was a lot cleaner. Yeah,
I think being in a park too, people feel a little more obligated to clean up after themselves.
How'd you guys do, Mark? I know we talked, so I kind of know, but
not good. It's we didn't make Sunday. It was fucking terrible, you know. Which is one of the reasons I don't really like to talk about how I think I'm going to do before the event, because then I have to deal with the repercussions like this, and I'm like, not, you know what I mean? But it wasn't good. You know, we missed Sunday. We got like 13th, and since there was a 30 semi-pro teams, there was no wild cards. So we got 13th, only 12 teams move on.
Oh, by 1 point, dude. Or one. You're playing the whole season, right?
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Mickey, are you guys playing the whole season or just this one?
Yeah, no. The team's playing the whole season, and I committed to play the NXL, and I tentatively said I'd play some Dub C. But honestly, I'm so upset about the outcome at Vegas. Like, and my team knows it. Like, I'll tell you, bro, like, I spent so much time training and practicing and working, and I sacrificed so much. It's like, you got to think, like, I'm doing other things that have nothing to do with paintball that have, like, pretty, like, pretty whatever,
Mm-hmm.
And I, like, would continuously pause that, and people are looking at me like, hey, bro, there's all this big stuff happening, and you're going to go play paintball instead of doing business? And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm committed. And I was out there Wednesdays and Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays, getting just demolished by Dynasty and everybody else that comes, and everyone else against Aftermath when I play against whatever it is. I put so much goddamn work in it to lose. Like, that wasn't.
Sure.
I'm pretty pissed.
If you could give because there's still guys playing this layout, right? And I know this one's a little confusing. I know Billy Casey's playing at an event this weekend. What do you think are a couple of, because you guys play on the divisional level, and I think preparation absolutely sounds like if you're getting 3 guys to the box a lot of the times, that could help you. And Mark, we can talk about what can help you guys, but if you were to give like a couple pieces of advice for like what would have, knowing what you know now, like what could have helped you succeed a little bit more?
Me?
Yeah, let's hit it.
There's one move I learned towards the end of Saturday that I wish I was privy to for the whole event.
Mm-hmm.
So off break, I was shooting the gap from God to Snake and running to the center 50.
Mm-hmm.
Never produced a kill, and I can't see where any bodies are. So if they're not going to Snake, I have zero idea where they are, and I can't hear my team. So I finally switched it up and started shooting heads up. Huge difference, because I'm kill 1, sometimes kill 2 off break. Someone coming center 50 or even back at the home. But then my next problem was, not that I wish I did that the whole time, my next problem was there was going from, I guess it'd be the Charlie to the Delta. Nobody ever seemed to be shooting inside between those, because anytime I could just walk and shoot my way from Charlie to Delta without seeing anybody. And what I should be doing is just holding on the 400 there. Because I don't see anybody getting into the Dorito side,
Mm-hmm.
and nobody on my team, either they're not seeing it or I can't hear it. So I get into the Delta, and I'm looking at the Snake and just get the back of my head blown, like, almost every point.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? What I should do is I should just
I didn't know
blast
exactly
my
what Charlie to
way
Delta was right until you said that part right there.
Yeah. I should have just been... I should just shot my way into that Delta and just stayed on that 400 like at all costs. I should even just been jumping beams and just putting barrels in the back of heads.
That's a good one. What about from the preparation side of things?
I could not have prepped any harder. There's no.
What about
chance.
as a team? Why were you guys putting 3 guys on the box?
That was penalties.
Penalties.
Oh,
penalties.
shit!
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes
Not
more
me.
sense.
I didn't get a single penalty.
I
got a
thought
penalty
because you guys
since I
weren't
played
prepared.
W last year.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Mark, what about you? Knowing what you know now, what could have added to like you making Sunday?
If we paid attention to the point spread.
Oh,
We paid zero attention to the point spread. And so, like, our third match, right, our first match on Saturday, we were just, like, doing whatever, right? And, we threw away a point here or there. We're like, oh, who gives a shit? Like, or, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. And when we went into the Wrecking Crew match, we were like, I don't know what the score was. They beat the shit out of us, by all means, and we were, like, literally just running into guns, like, with no care in the world. And
then you guys had a huge loss margin, and then if you guys had kept it a little tighter, you probably would have made it on.
It's a higher chance that if we kept it, if we lost by 1 or something, we would have been in.
Mm-hmm.
We lost by like 4,
right?
You know what I mean? And yeah, so pay attention to point spread.
Watch a couple X Factor matches. They know all about it, dude. We had that long point, and they're like, well, just keep it close, and we're for sure in.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm also a big fan of like if we're gonna lose, if we're losing and we're like kind of getting our asses kicked, maybe we're down by 2. There's not we're down a couple. I hate just running at them and like trying to get a point and then end up losing by 6 or something like that. And you're like, ugh. You want to save a little bit of face on some of those losses and just kind of like go out with a little bit more dignity than just charging down the field on some of them. Obviously, there's a fine line.
I couldn't agree more. Agree more.
Well, that's a good lesson.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got a question for you, Mark. Actually, I never asked you.
Yeah.
When we look at how many people won money betting on paintball, right? how much money was won means Kiergo lost. Did you take any heat for that? And then follow-up question, what are you doing to change that, or are you going to change that?
What do you mean? Did I take any heat?
Did you get in trouble for kind of bringing paintball into this and like, hey, we lost a lot of money. This is not cool. I think is that a question?
No, I didn't get in trouble. It's it's an understanding. No one's ever done this before. You know what I mean? So no one ever does it before. You can't expect anything to go so perfect. And it's an interesting situation because no one's ever done it, and there was a lot of unforeseen upsets. Oh, hold on. Can you guys hear my kids screaming?
No.
Okay.
You have a cockatiel.
Okay. So and there's a lot of upsets that are unforeseen.
Right.
And so it happens like that. There's only so much you can do. What was the other question?
The follow-up question is, if you're doing anything to change that, what are you doing? Are you working on tightening the lines? Are you rating different on a personal level, since you're the paintball guy? Are you rating like Notorious much higher than you did coming into Vegas? Are you doing things like that?
Yeah, so of course you have to rate teams, slightly different. You can't just adjust everything 100%. You know what I mean? With all due respect to any of the teams that maybe had lesser odds, that were the underdogs, right? You can't just automatically take that team and create them to be, above all because they have one good event. The hope is they continue to have good events. But for example, there is, I don't want to say the team name, but there is a very high team that always theoretically has great odds and a great idea of winning, and you compare them to a team that has just recently been surprising people. Now you have to adjust accordingly to this. If these two teams play, now maybe the odds get adjusted in the other way. So we're looking at all aspects of things and what, like, maybe teams that were always favorites or maybe having some issues and adjusting accordingly on that.
So let me ask you this one then, and I'm a huge supporter of like Mouse, right? Like Mouse is my dog. Right?
Mm-hmm.
AC Diesel obviously did not perform at Vegas, and I don't really know all the reasons. I'm not the paintball expert, but are you starting event number 2 with like Notorious as one of the highest ranking teams, or even Hurricanes, one of the highest ranking teams, and a team like AC Diesel and what's Rainey's team? Damage. So like those two teams had a terrible event 1. Are you starting them come event 2 as like lower ranking teams and Hurricanes and Notorious as higher ranking teams, or are you considering it just like they got lucky or there was like weird unforeseen things and you're keeping the same attitude on the rankings when it comes to creating the lines for event number 2?
So for example, with Damage won, I don't know what it was it 2 events last year?
Yeah,
something like they won 2, right? So they won 2 events. So you can, in my opinion, you can't call them much of an underdog, right? They had one fucking terrible event and it happened to be this event. I don't think you can call them an underdog in any real way here. Notorious had a great event, and now it's interesting to see how are they going to, right? So they threw a huge wrench in the mix. How are they going to do the second event? Are they going to continue on this upward slope of where they're going, or are they going to plateau here for a couple events? You don't really know the answer. So you can't just change everything, right? AC Diesel is, all due respect, Kyle, right?
Yeah.
You guys are not. It's like you guys are, right? Like I don't know who said it. LP said it right before we came on. Whoever was saying it it's you guys are not a bad team. You guys have no bad players on your team. It's just something is not occurring that should be occurring, right?
Sure.
And it's no secret, obviously. And so it's hard with your team to consider you guys an underdog, or if you guys are. In my opinion, you guys are the biggest fucking wrench in the mix, right?
Yeah.
Because in no world should AC Diesel be in the predicament that you guys in, right? So at any moment, AC Diesel could say, "This is our event," and truly, and come and fucking win. So it's
tough.
Like
the lines are tough.
Yeah. At what?
Especially now.
At what point does AC Diesel get the odds that Notorious just had against Damage? They were like plus 1,000. Because when that happens. That's fucking crazy, So there's a lot of things going on.
I'll tell you what, if you ever make AC Diesel plus 1,000, I'm gonna bet the house on it.
Hey, what? Okay, I that kind of like brought a question I've got. So, not like, when do you create the lines? Are you gonna the odds and everything? And when can you bet on everything? Like when did the lines start? Do you see the field layout, or whoever's making the lines? Do you see the field layout first, or do you before you create like the odds?
Yeah. So let me just preface with this, just to clarify for what anybody else may have taken as your questions. I don't see the field layout before anybody else in the world sees this.
No. Before, yeah.
Yeah. But I just wanted to clarify that for whoever's watching. So you're right. Yeah. So the layout has to be presented to the world, and so we have to see the layout, and then teams have to practice on the layout, right? Because you have to look at it. Is this going to be a layout where anybody can make it essentially anywhere they want off break? Because if so,
we're going to change
then then you have to adjust for Axel and Billy.
Yeah, that was kind of my question, right? I wasn't sure if you kind of like, or if they come up with the odds and the lines and everything, and they're like, all right, cool, we're good, and then they're just like, all right, let's paintball starting today. You're constantly following up, and then the next question is, do the numbers ever change like mid event, or like are they based on like how many people or what is the bet is? Does it change, or is it like, if it's Ironman plus 5.5, it's going to be that no matter what happens?
So let me just start off with, first of all, like the brackets are out now for the pro division. That's huge, because now we have from whatever it was a couple days ago, whatever, let's say today, from today until layout weekend to kind of look, see does Dynasty lose any players?
Right. That was basically my, yeah.
So we have a lot to take into consideration from bracket release until layout weekend. Are any players getting hurt, right? Nick Ripple hurt his foot, things like that. So it's, right, is he going to be back in time for the event? These are all important things to take into note. As for the odds, I think they should be getting adjusted accordingly, kind of like I believe that's how it works, is they get adjusted accordingly.
Yeah. I mean,
I can speak on this part just from my experience in gambling. So in theory, they do constantly and regularly adjust, right? Up until the closing lines.
Right.
The only reason I think paintball will see, at least for now, very small movement is because there's not so much data to really say, like, did one big better come in and offset it? Because if that's the case, the line's not going to move for, like, just this one guy on such a small sample size of data. So I think there will be adjustments just based, if you want, this is my guess, by the way. I'm literally making this up, but it's probably correct. In theory, we'll always move live until the line is closed. But I think in paintball, we'll see only a little bit of movement because of the lack of data to really support, to justify the movement,
And is that change, like if I place my bet on Tuesday and the line moves a little bit by Saturday game time, does my bet, is it locked in at my previous? It's not gonna adjust to a new. Okay, so it's
that's the same as that's how every sport in every sports book in the world works.
Okay, cool.
Which is why people try to make different bets at different times.
Yeah, I see. See, I didn't know. Yeah, this is all virgin. I'm all virgin to this. So it's good to.
No worries.
Yeah, explain that.
So the way, this has nothing to do with paintball necessarily, but the way some people beat sports books is they will get, let's say they have 10 friends, right? I'm gonna make this up. They have 5 friends bet on the losing bet on purpose. They want money bet on there to adjust the line. The guy knows that he's going to give his friends money. He's going to tell 5 of his friends, yo, bet on this losing line because we want the line to move so the odds have a better payout on the winning side. So when it finally moves and I get the right payout, the right price for the winning side, then he's going to take his other 5 friends and bet twice the amount of money on it. So that way half the money will cover what he purposely lost, and then he's still profitable at 100%.
Damn. Some good knowledge there. How did they feel the max bets and how much you could bet went? Like, do you think that'll change, or it'll stay like lower, raise up?
You want my opinion? Or if you want my answer is it'll definitely continue to change. I think it'll allow people to have bigger and bigger as more money's being bet. I can tell you, I was blown away. How much did I say? What was it? 100 and how much money was bet this event on Sunday?
114,000 on Sunday.
On Sunday,
157
right? So imagine,
total.
Yeah, $114,000 in one day was wagered. I don't think anybody anticipated that. That came, by the way, from whatever minimal amount of promotion you guys seen, right? So like, I think that as this comes out, all these people are getting paid. HK Kenny, your boy Ryan, Mark's boy, who I think's in the chat or whatever, like all these dudes, right, saying like, yeah, I bet I got paid, whatever. There'll be more and more money wagered. I think the more money that's wagered, the bigger the limits will become. I didn't think anyone anticipated this much on just one day on the first event ever. So I don't think anyone was like, oh, we have to allow big bets because people are going to want to bet big. I don't think anybody ever thought about it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's huge. It's fucking. I think it's so good. It's like, it's such a cool step in the right direction for paintball, and I'm stoked that you guys are helping to push that forward. You know.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know, and
Really cool.
And I was talking to somebody the other day, and he's like, you know, just because I was betting, right? Like your friend watched for 22 fucking hours straight. Which, first of all, congratulations, that's pretty incredible. But it brings all these like people who don't have an interest in whatever team that they don't normally care about. Now all of a sudden this team, right, has a fucking hype team. They have a whole fan base now all of a sudden for 4 matches. You know what I mean? It's like bringing all this shit out that people didn't even think they cared about. All of a sudden they care about everybody.
Yeah, our buddy, he was like, my favorite team is Blast Camp. After he's never watched.
I think it's because he won money on Blast Camp with the spreads.
I'm betting all the underdogs. I think I made a post that said if you ever see someone with plus 1,000 odds, just put money on it. I'm pretty sure I posted that.
Yeah.
And if somebody listened to me, then they really made a lot of money on
They made
Notorious
a lot of money.
Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Well, too bad I can't bet. I don't even know how. I'm somewhat clueless on that one, but there's a handful of people. I mean, there were over 400 people this month. Total of 550 people visited the link that we sent.
It's awesome.
From here. So not many people signed up. But now, like, this is the whole point, right? Like, a lot of people were reluctant to it, right? And now we've shown, it's not me. You guys have shown the proof of concept and the fact that it works and the fact that it's brought in front of a new light and new audience and constantly still not only promoting it, but we're also creating new fans out of it, right? And I think that's like, at the end, like, hopefully people make money. Hopefully you guys make money. Hopefully everybody's successful in this. But at the end of the day, like, the biggest thing, and I think, Mickey, you mentioned this on the show last time, was like, you're doing everything that you can to use your platform to, like, promote the sport that you love. And then Mark, you're now, like, in the trenches doing the same thing, and this is going to now help you to play more paintball, compete more, and become more competitive, and then possibly, soon, probably, like, live out that dream of playing up front for a top tier team. Like, it's cool how this is coming to fruition. This is rad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stoked.
Yeah,
so
I got a question for you guys. I was always wondering this. How do you feel about all these rules on women's paintball?
In what sense?
Like how they can't shoot more than 2 BPS and they're not allowed to go above a speed walk? And there's a strict policy on no bunkering.
Oh, no.
I haven't seen those rules.
I haven't seen those.
That's crazy, man.
I don't know about that. Oh, jeez. Allegedly, they say. You're gonna kill your brother, I think. This dude is approved.
It's all good.
This dude is approved, they say. Oh, man. I don't know, Mickey. I feel like the couple of them WNXL teams might be able to put it on your collision guys. I don't know.
We can do that. Who won?
Some of the those girls are, and especially like some of them are like very, very, very good.
Dallas Vibe.
The Vibe girls won.
Heroines are usually up there.
Heroines are usually up there. The Cheetah girls, there's a handful that are on there really good. There's some solid talent there.
I'd play them. Whatever. I'd play them.
I will say one
The
of
Blanco
both of our
sisters.
best friends is Krista Titus.
Yeah.
And I would love. I would love to see a one-on-one of between Mickey and Krista because that would be
Jen Folk too is nasty.
she's pretty good.
On a one-on-one, Krista would probably beat me. She's really good, and I love Krista. Shout out Krista. No, I love a lot of the girls that play that I've been able to meet. Like most of them have been super dope. I'm just trolling, you know.
I know.
But I would play. I'd go collision against Vibe or Cheetahs or Hermesis, whatever you said.
Oh boy! All right, I'm in. I'm watching. I'm there. I'm betting on that. throw the odds out. As long as I'm not it's not a pro sanctioned event. I think I might be able to throw some bucks in on that one.
I think you could actually.
Hell yeah! Oh shit! Peter says that it's on, dude. It's on. It's on. Dude, it's on. Let's go.
Kyle, what happened to you guys?
It's a lot. Still unpacking everything. I mean, there's just so many things. But I'm not gonna like give it up to one excuse, you know, like specific excuse. Just a lot of different things didn't go right, and just bad performance all around.
All right, I don't even know.
Yeah, a lot to dissect from it. Just go back and keep moving forward. Is really all we can do.
If you guys are looking to pick up a D2 player, let me know. I mean, things can't get worse, so who knows what'll happen.
All right, I'll take it up to the higher ups.
You are right there. You know, maybe that's the spark they need, huh? Maybe that's the spark they need.
Yeah.
It could be.
Look, and pick up Mark. I hear he's a stud.
Let's go, buddy.
Let's go, buddy.
Mark's so good. Honestly, Mark is so good. Obviously, way better than me. He would be a better choice than me if you were going to pick somebody up. Not even close, for sure. Him.
I like, Mickey. I like you're like just in case you were serious. Like I think you should pick him up. You guys have any final words for everybody watching? Getting people hyped, or where we can find you guys next? Both of you guys at the WC this in a couple weeks.
100%. I'll definitely be at WC. I'll be there playing, and definitely wearing a Violence jersey. I think Mickey's going to be playing too.
Oh, so you're not playing with Ology?
I didn't. Go ahead. My bad.
Sorry, you're not playing with Ology, Mark?
Well, we're playing, but we're playing as LA Collision. We're playing.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I originally told David, like, I can't give him a commitment to Dub C because it's just so time consuming, especially because I committed to NXL. But like, it's in LA, like I'm sure I'll play, and then after like our performance at Vegas, like I think I have to play at least his first event to just see if it was a fluke or like if we're really just not putting it together. Because for me to spend this much time and energy and away from work to like travel for the whole NXL season, like just to keep losing is not worth it. So I think I'm gonna play Dub C just to like see if we can get it together.
I see. All right. Well, I'll be at ASG the next 2 Sundays. Well, shit, maybe not next Sunday. The next 2 Sundays, most likely. Depending on if, we'll see. We'll see. But I should be there next 2 Sundays, and then obviously at the event. So I'll see you guys there.
This isn't live, so you can just edit that out. No big deal.
Yeah, exactly. It's catch yourself. You're thinking on the fly. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go. We got to shut down. I got we're ripping right now. And I'm gonna throw out some prizes for the guys, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
Later, fellas.
Hey, you guys for what you're doing too.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Later, guys.
All right, sick, dude. That was I talked to Mark today or like last week, and I was like, hey, is there any way to get some stats going? Like, I just want to hear, because I've heard from some friends, I heard a lot of mixed reviews and feelings about how the betting, like, oh, you're not going to get paid, or, oh, yeah, well, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Dude, people won money, straight up.
Yeah.
And they paid them straight up. And, the lines will change and everything. But I think one of the coolest things, and I didn't really realize it until we just were talking now about, like, Carter, is, like, dude, he was like, I watched 36 hours or whatever paintball, and it was rad. Like, I'm a fan of it. Like, it was cool. It's cool to watch. He watches all the sport. He's like he gambles and he does other sports, and I think that's like the silver lining on this. Well, actually, not even the silver lining. That's like the cool part about this whole thing is creating new fans or fans of people. Like maybe you've got a degenerate gambling uncle, a brother, friend, or something, and like, hey, you should check out this paintball thing, and they're gonna be like, dude, paintball's sick, you know. So
Hey, thanks, Vic.
yeah, Victor,
Appreciate you.
dude, and Vic, don't worry about it. I haven't forgotten about you. It was Vic's birthday the other day. If you guys haven't checked out Vic's interview on Paintball Nerd, it's really good. He doesn't give away all of Dynasty secrets, thankfully, but he does a really good job. And his first interview. So shout out to the Paintball Nerd for giving him a spotlight. Maybe Vic, keep your head down, keep doing everything. I can give you a shot here on the Spick and Span show one of these days.
Yeah, it was cool to see that too. Just like an in-depth look into
you watched it.
why Vic is arguably the best in the league at what he does.
Mm-hmm. It was
said some really meaningful things in there. Thoughtful
it was
things.
solid. It was solid. Like I watched it and I was thoroughly entertained.
Like what we were talking about, like the why of why you should, do whatever it is, carry out with maximum effort.
Yeah, and then that was one of the things I wanted to touch on. I wasn't sure why they felt that they lost those two guys, but pit. What happens in the pit has a huge effect on what's going to happen at the end of the day. So yeah, dude, come on in here. You want to say hi? You've been standing there the whole time.
No, I'm good. What up?
Where you going?
Wait up.
Wait up. What do you mean wait up? Wait up. We're right here. Damien's been sitting here. We have a live studio audience right now. So big shout out to Vic. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching. Hey, I'm going to throw up these Aloha jerseys right here, kind of plopping. You guys
everyone up.
You guys can comment below on which one you guys like the most. There's the Moonlight one. That one's sick. That's I haven't seen that one in person, but that. You guys can check those out. I'm gonna throw the link in here. Big shout out to Victor. I'm also going to give you guys. I've been spinning the wheel. I've been spinning the wheel for you, and I'm gonna announce some winners. We've got some cool winners coming up here. I've got a couple of these HORMESIS. You want to come and say hi to everybody?
Nah.
Come on, you're gonna say that you're gonna sign everybody off though. Gonna give away these. Both of these Hormy straps, Kristen Hederich and Verb Dog. You are a winner on the show tonight. Gunnar Dixon and Mr. Kev, along with Beef Supreme and Bem Raps and Free Flow, are all winning Gen X Global. Gunnar and Mr. Kev are getting some pod caddies. Damien, will you sign this?
Sure.
Yeah. Come on, he'll sign it. There we go.
Alright, it's like pulling teeth.
Pulling teeth to get this guy. Do anything out here. Oh, there's a Sharpie right there. There's Sharpies everywhere in this place. And then Bem, Beef, Supreme, Burrito, and Free Flow. You guys are also getting some Gen X Global. Which one of these jerseys do you guys like best? Do you like the Moonlight or the Sunset? What do you think? Sunset, Damien? Or Moonlight?
I like Sunset.
Okay.
Moonlight.
Okay. All right. Victor's already up onto bigger and better things. He's like, I've already been invited to PTG. All right, everybody. Well, you heard that. You can catch Vicky Baby on PTG. Damien, do you want to? So you gotta get down here a little. Come on, get close to the mic. Get close to the mic.
Think about this.
Come on, get close to the mic. Closer to the mic. Your hair's getting long. You've been sitting here for 2.5 hours listening to the worst show on television. All right, go. Ready? 3, 2, action.
You guys have been here for 2.5 hours. I'm so sorry. You guys take care and have a good rest of your night. We're out.
Hope it gets better. Oh man.
Oh gosh,
He texted me like 15 minutes or tried to call. I was like, bro, we're doing the show. He's like, oh yeah. And I just told him like a couple hours before that after the show.
I forgot. Yeah.
It's been a long day, huh?
Yeah, it was actually.
Did you watch the show on the way over and then called him and then said, oh man, I should call Kyle?
No, I called him when I was at home. And then I realized you guys were doing the show and I was like, I'll just drive over here.
I like it.
So
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys.